Sean.
What up, Bill? What's going down? All right. So why are you doing this?
He doesn't like you anymore.
Yo, it's got to be a cord. I got to get another cord
It's possible.
because that's literally the only thing I can think of. It happens in all of the different USB hubs I plug it in. It's still happening. It's got to be the cord.
Maybe it doesn't want to be plugged into a USB hub.
I don't think it really has much of a choice in this. This is the cord it comes with, and it has like the fuck. I still hear it popping and crackling and all that other shit.
There are a lot of things, and what up, McKenna?
Hey, McKenna.
Things and people that arrive with things that they don't want anymore eventually, and they make, they make do to change.
Nah, we don't need to. No.
No, I'm the analogy guy. Damn it. I had to find a way to. Fuck, McKenna.
Man. Already? God
That's
damn.
disrespectful.
That is disrespectful.
You deserve a day off to do whatever you see fit.
I mean, she still gonna have the day off, but she gonna be sweating. She gonna be sweating. Oh man. So hold up. I gotta set my other shit up now because this bullshit.
No, I get it.
Oh.
Take your time.
Okay. Stop that dumb shit. All right. Well, I'll be.
There's no way that the dumb shit stops ever.
Yeah. That's very true. However, look, man, I don't know if they can hear the crackling and popping, but I hear it, and it's ass.
I mean, that's kind of on brand then.
No, it's actually yeah.
Yeah, the ass part. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it is on kind of on brand. That's not the point.
McKenna says Florida disrespects everyone. That's the only thing we don't discriminate on.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
No, that's real.
It is though. Mm-hmm. That and oh yeah.
Oh yeah, are you sure?
Remembering all these things.
Are you really though? Are you really remembering them?
Really am. Oh, and the other thing.
Other thing? What other thing? You broke it. Just admit that you broke it.
Yeah. Let's see. My memory. I didn't break my memory. My mother did. Let's see.
So, Jonathan, Tim broke it, is what happened. It is on the Spotify's and all that other stuff, but YouTube blocked it because he played a video from YouTube during the stream. So YouTube got us out of there.
You know, one of the very reasons that we had that whole thing to move to Twitch type thing was because of shit like that.
Well, to be fair,
no.
This time we actually did what they accused us of.
It doesn't matter.
That first time, we didn't even do what the fuck they accused us of. Like, what the fuck, bro? That first, I was mad as fuck that first time. Like, nigga, what? How the fuck can you accuse us of spreading anti-vax?
Oh, that was crazy. That was a crazy bar, yo.
That means a human clearly did not watch this.
Yeah, it was a computer that tagged the buzzword and a software, whatever, bot that tagged the buzzword, and they just probably are so in it. They probably so inundated around that time with
Facts.
bad takes, motherfuckers talking about all that shit. They's like, we can't put nobody on this. We gotta,
Right,
you know what I'm saying? But still, fuck them. Not being fair.
Them. That was
they making too much money. Nah.
And we appealed it, and it still was like, nah.
He said, no. So now that means a bot is dealing with the appeals. Like,
right?
Listen.
What up, sis?
Hey, sis.
But it could be, to your point. It could be because that shit was so rampant.
That was the
they might have been like, yo, we don't have the resources to.
That's what I think happened.
Human to this shit.
That's what I think happened.
Oh my god! But no, this time it was actually Tim's fault. Yeah, he actually.
It still ain't my fault.
No, it's your fault. The rule is stupid.
Yeah, you grabbed my point.
Yeah.
You already know the point I was going because me and Graydon actually had this conversation the other day that everything that's a law isn't moral.
As a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
The rule is stupid as fuck.
The rule is dumb.
Because the rule isn't the law.
It's not.
It's not. I mean, technically, what we did wasn't necessarily fair use, but it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
If it was fair use, we still would have got the same
exactly.
response.
It would have been the exact same thing, bro. The exact same thing.
Nah.
They suck.
YouTube is YouTube, man. It is.
Man.
It is what it is.
And that's funny because part of my week shit is about a conversation I had about YouTube and social media and all that stuff too. It's just crazy.
What's the part of your strong shit then? Because
I said no, I'm not doing the listen. I'm not doing the strong shit. I'm doing the
no. Stop. Shush. You cannot. You can't give that away.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
We get it, guys. Some of these references are just not stuff y'all gonna get now. You might get later. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
Oh man. Let's see. I got one more thing I gotta pull up. This.
What time is it?
It's 11:06. Coach
Cheese should have went off. I didn't hear my alarm go off. I'll be right back.
I'll be dipped. All right. Move that over here. And there it is. I don't want to use this program, bro. So slide you down there. So it is raining. Like, it'll probably be raining all day here. And there's something about fucking rain that makes me sleepy as fuck. Don't know what it is, but I don't care how much I've rested. Right? That rain shit just makes me lethargic as fuck. Let's see. All right.
Stop.
What you talking about?
The alarm. It lied to me.
The alarm lied to you.
When I said it, it said the alarm will go off at 11:05.
Mm-hmm.
It's 11:08 now.
That might have been user error.
Absolutely possible. What do you mean? Have you met me? But yeah, I had put some food.
Oh, you know, I know how you are about the food thing.
In the oven, and yeah.
You know how you are about the food thing.
Same way you are, motherfucker. Except I cook.
I know you don't be eating all that.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be one of those episodes.
Oh boy.
We're just gonna lie to the people, huh?
Look, man.
We owe them more than that.
They actually are used to that, though. All of them have been paying attention to the politics in their respective states and/or countries. Like, come on, let's not act like that. So
we are not politicians, goddammit. Let's not
Which
have
is
that in common with
that's
the
actually something else I wanted to, another observation I had too. What up, Cindy?
that we aren't politicians. What up, Cindy?
Yes. As a
Oh,
matter of
okay.
fact.
All right. Weird flex, but I'll ride with it.
Let's see. Yeah. I think I got everything back. Well, not everything.
You don't know that.
I'm the only one.
No. You can't know that. You can't know that.
I'm the only one that can know that.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
This and turn this other monitor on.
Oh, I need to finish that. Finish him.
You will never.
I need to finish that shit. I found the comic book series. I think it was one of the ones out of the Thanos Infinite series, but it's called A God Up There Listening. It's like 6 issues, and I forgot I had got this a long time ago. So as I was looking at the first one, I didn't start reading. I just was scrolling through it using my CBR reader.
Right.
The way they have the smart paneling set up here, amazing. Like it looks, it gives a very dramatic presentation to the story. You know, with the panels popping in. Sometimes the images on the panel will pop in first to give emphasis to it, then the rest of the panel, like expression. Some of it looks almost like animation with the expression on some of their faces changing, but it remains in the same general location, right? So the eyes like they blink in, open, like they did. Yo, this shit's dope. This shit is crazy. Like there's this one scene where Thanos is about to put his hand around his mother's throat. Well, phantasm of his mother's throat. And as you scroll to the next page, his hand just closes, and it looks just like when you scroll, it's like his hand just closed. The shit is dope. The shit dope, yo. I was telling Graydon the other day when we had our meeting the other day that I would very much like it if this was a feature that we could add onto our app. Oh, yeah, I think it would make it a lot easier on the readers, especially when they're reading it from their phones or whatever. It makes it a lot easier. Cindy said 11:09 in the morning and already at 1:03. Real feel. Woohoo! Welcome to hell. Yeah, McKenna just said it was over 100. That shit crazy.
That's exactly what I'm mad at.
But you know, y'all have certain things in your favor though that I'm actually going to cover that in my week review as well.
Y'all used to it.
I mean, sure, used to it. I mean, I'm used to humans, but I don't like.
Absolutely.
It's just crazy. It's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week.
Life. Oh, my bad.
Well, sometimes I feel like you're going to look back on all of this stuff one day when you're like on your deathbed and go, all the times when you was pissed off because shit was taking too long, or you stand in the line and it was ass. And, damn, man. The day you're about to die, you know that you're about to die. All that shit, the first thing will probably come out of our mouths is going to be like, that shit went too quick. all that shit went too quick.
All that.
I think I'm gonna start using that.
Why did I rush that? Yeah.
I think I'm gonna start using that. I think I'm gonna start using that when I'm in the moments where I feel like something taking too long. I'm start referencing that from that point. Like, no, it ain't. No, it ain't.
There are always reasons. There are always reasons to complain, but there are always counterpoints.
Exactly. I mean, like, especially when you ordering something and you run it really bad,
nigga,
and you know it's going to take a week,
No.
2 weeks.
I am bougie as fuck with that. I ain't even
Me
hold
too.
you. Listen,
Me too.
these panels. So I got them last Friday. And I started putting them up. But the double-sided tape that I ordered, I didn't realize it was only 16 feet. So I didn't get to finish the rest of them. So I went to order some more double-sided tape. This was after the show last week. I went to order some more double-sided tape. And the same one, I wanted the same one because
Right.
I got a good use out of it. It was easy to work with. All that shit. I went to reorder it. It said it wouldn't be here until Wednesday. I went and looked for another one.
I don't blame you though. I don't blame you.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but
That is absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, listen.
I ended up being able to find it, the same one, coming Tuesday instead of Wednesday, and I went with that one.
I can relate, bro. I can definitely relate. Let me read Biddy's comment because this is dope. Cuppa and Norch commencing multitasking, watching art stream celebrate 2K followers milking art. He was kind enough to show E&E Kickstarter in the stream the other day. That's dope. That's fire. The more attention we get, the better. Even like especially after the Kickstarter is over, because a lot of things. Well, I'll get into that with my week, but this is the part that I've been trying to get to for the longest goddamn time, and it's still not completely there, but it's the beginning of it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. I mean, shit, we can start then. I mean,
yeah, we might as well. It's like 11:15. Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ.
You.
And I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. Now, once again, we'd like to welcome everybody here for another rousing episode of the Saturday morning cartoon
Not sure
show.
how rousing it's gonna be, but okay.
Yo, it is raining out there, and that shit has me drowsy and lethargic as a motherfucker. But
well, because it's raining, I don't have to have my AC on.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned that. So we have some things we want to talk to you about, but of course we're going to go into our week. I just want to start because you just gave me a great segue into it, right? So riddle me this. I've been living here in this place for 3 years. No, not in this place as in Earth. This house.
Got you.
For 3 years. Why is it that every season, every dramatic, extreme season, what up, Vermin?
What up, Vermin?
The HVAC breaks. Wintertime comes. Now the heat doesn't work.
Cause your man is auditioning to become a slumlord.
Listen, bro, I don't know why he's trying to do that on the amateur circuit. He's already bro. And you got to give him his props because he's trying to be this slumlord in a nice neighborhood. Listen. Every season where the weather changes extreme and you need for your HVAC to work, it all of a sudden decides it doesn't. One of the main reasons is probably because stop buying cheap shit.
That's a part of it.
There was a specific remember the last time when the shit happened, right? And it was cold as a bitch in here, right?
Vividly.
So the insurance made a suggestion of the one that he needs to get. He tried to save money. And as a result, he got another cheap one. And now the same thing that happened with the other one happened with this one. The motherboard shut down.
Yeah. Also, when you only fix a part of the problem, every time that there's a problem, there's bound to be more problem. Well,
yeah. I mean, listen. Oh, and so Vermin asks, in town, does it get fixed?
Sure,
yeah,
somewhere
of course,
in time.
because I'm not in jail. See,
Right.
as evidenced by the fact that I'm not in jail, yeah, it gets fixed. But the inconvenience of it is, imagine going a week during some of the coldest weather of the year with no heat in the house.
Great example. So summer, just officially, not talking about temperatures or nothing like that. Just officially, summer is from like June 21st to like September 21st or some shit like that. Yeah. And August is when it's like the hottest here.
Yes.
So if my AC break August 1st and I don't get it fixed till August the 14th,
jeez.
Sure, they did it in time, but that's not really helpful. That's not what I want to hear.
Especially since, when you're paying your money and it's never late, they can always count on consistency with them getting their money. Then
talk about it.
It should not be a consistent thing where every season with the extreme. We had a dope ass spring, y'all. We had a dope ass spring, and the AC was rocking, and it really didn't need to be, right? So dope ass fucking spring. As soon as it started to get hot and show its ass. So currently, I don't know if you can hear it in the background. I have a fan going right here. It's not the fan of my computer. No, it's another fan that I have sitting right there because there's no AC in here. Now today, it is currently.
Wait, hold on. Vermin says I have no heat in my room all year round in northern Michigan. You have two
Holy
choices.
Shit.
You need to punch or sue someone.
One or the other.
Dealer's choice. Dealer's choice.
Yeah, dealer's choice. You gotta,
one of those things has to be accomplished.
Bro, you can't let them do that. Like, if you have a landlord now, that's if you have a landlord. If you have a landlord,
even if you don't, you might have
no, you gotta do something about it.
Yeah, you gotta punch or you gotta do one of the two. Something needs to happen. That's uncivilized.
It is uncivilized. Oh my goodness. Oh, he likes like that. Oh, but that's
okay.
That's different, Bobby Drake. That's different, Iceman. But the thing that bothers me the most about it is the bullshit excuses they will give that tries to alleviate them or remove them from culpability. And they keep flying. Oh, well, some of the vents were closed and it probably caused it. No, the reason, like my wife painfully put out to them, the reason you have vents in the first place is to have the decision on what area you want to be a certain temperature or not. So you're not going to tell me that it's some vents being closed is the reason for that. Because if that's the case, you have a shitty HVAC.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Also, what's that excuse?
I hear it. Not no more. I don't hear you. You broke it. You broke it again. Yo, it's a very interesting situation to have Tim at a disadvantage to where he can't talk. I could literally say anything about him right now and he couldn't counter it. Matters none. His electric bill was through the roof. They finally replaced it last month. Damn.
All right. What about now? I can hear the ambient sound in your room.
Damn it.
It's dry now, right? It's dry now. But yeah, so what was the other excuse he gave? Oh, they're the shelves. So there's shelves in the same area where the HVAC is, which is maybe not even a foot away from where there's a wall. And then they tried to float the, oh, the shelves are too close. They might be crowding it. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Got you. Now, to be fair, there are, I guess, quote unquote, best practices and all that other bullshit.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
You can do to increase flow and all that other shit.
Absolutely.
But my shit should still be working.
It should still be working. Like, come on. So finally, it got to the real crux of the problem. Is the goddamn motherboard again? Same like with the last one because you keep buying cheap shit. So all that other stuff is cap, and you know it's cap. You know it's cap. You're trying to find some way, like a politician, to not be held accountable or be culpable for the shit. And what makes it even worse, we signed a 2-year lease, so we gotta be here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this is the other reason, of course, for why certain endeavors that are being done have to really do what I need them to do. Right. I'm so sick of the horse shit. I'm so sick of it. Like, these are things that I had to deal with when I lived in the hood. I shouldn't have to deal with that now. You know, I shouldn't. It's ridiculous. But
agreed.
Moving along though to another thing, some good news and some annoying news. As you guys know, the Kickstarter is over.
Yeah.
It was more than successful.
Yeah.
And exactly. And as a result of that, so let me explain y'all. Some who may not know, maybe never dealt with Kickstarter before. I'm sure how this explains a little bit of how this works. I actually want to do a video on that as well, just for the backers, because some people are backing probably for it's the first Kickstarter they ever backed, right? Typically, we have to wait 14 days after the end of the Kickstarter for them to do their review shit and collections and all of that before they do the payout. So once that happens, we will then commence to getting the things that we're supposed to get for fulfillment. Some of those things we tried to be ahead of the game because we didn't want y'all.
Before you go that far, also some of the review process can be delayed for several reasons. One of the things is when you pledge, you aren't charged.
Yeah, that's it.
If you don't have money in that account,
by the time they come to collect,
that's
a fact. That's a fact. So like I was saying, we try to do some stuff to mitigate the wait. And you're doing some things early. We took from company expenses to do certain shit, right? So one of the things we did was we're going to pay to get these posters, right? So we didn't make the 6,500 it took to be on the stretch goal for that, but one of the tiers is for the book and the poster. So we wanted to make sure we had the posters, all of that good shit. They had to worry about it. We ordered the posters.
Yo, this is the craziest shit I've ever heard.
So we get a message on the business email. Your posters are there. Your posters are there. I'm like, dope. They're probably on my front porch right now. I go upstairs, open the front door, and what do I see? Those two big boxes. I was like, these have to be it. I then go and look. Sure enough,
have to.
They have to be. That's what I said at the time. So then on top of that, which confirms it even more for me, right, is I look at the label and I see my address, Majestic Comics.
Okay, all right.
This has to be it.
Has to.
I go and pick it up. It's a little heavy. Yeah. So my son comes out and
point of order, sir. Generally, posters aren't that heavy.
Yeah,
like,
we got
in general.
We got a lot of posters.
I get it, but
yeah, it's absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, we was really close, Sean. It was really close. So my son comes and grabs the other one. We take him downstairs. I grab the trusty box cutter. Slice. I open it up. And this pops out. Now, I know you guys can't really see exactly with the printing on there because of the lighting. But this is a wash cup, which I have never heard of a wash cup before. But as my wife opened one of them up, and she looked at the little manual that came with it, it's for when you go traveling and you got your little toothpaste thingy or lotion thingy, all that other stuff, and toothpaste and brush and all that, and you slide it in there, close it so it's not jiggling around. You put it in here, right? So, yeah, a box full of these. I'm like,
point of order, sir.
yes,
Those don't look like posters.
that's what I said. So I said, maybe there has to be a mistake, but surely the other one. And of course,
wait, here's the crazy thing about that, right? Tim is never the optimist. So for this situation to happen and him to be like, that's odd, huh? I guess it's just this one. Let's look it up.
Yo, 2 big dumbass boxes full of wash cups. Needless to say,
that previously you didn't even know existed.
That I didn't even know existed. Needless to say, I was fit to be tied. Livid, right? So I called my partners to inform them of the chicanery. We say, all right, let's get in contact with these goddamn printers and see what the fuck is going on with this. And what I noticed on the side of both of the boxes was one of these FBA labels. Now, for those that have never been a business that ran off of Amazon, that's the same type of label you will find on something that's supposed to go to the Amazon warehouse for fulfillment, because some business is selling these.
Amazon.
Exactly. They didn't get their wash cups. And the other thing that's bad too about that is, just because we got their box doesn't mean they got our posters.
That's correct, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So at that moment, we did not know how this was going to shake loose. We hit up the printer in China. There is a language barrier, to be sure. But in the course of that, we sent them pictures, told them this is an outrage, and all of the things you would expect from a business to another business who fucked up. And actually, they didn't fuck up. Right. But they're still responsible because the shipping place that they took it to before they even left China, that's who got it. That's who got it fucked up. That's who fucked it up. So after having these conversations with them, they have agreed to redo our posters, and the shipping company is going to handle the cost of the shipping to bring that shit back over here. So that part, of course, is good news. The other good news with that is that now that the Kickstarter is over, the PDF for issue 0, Extropy and Entropy, the Focal Point, is now available in our Majestic Comics store on Shopify. You can also get it on Twitter, because we just opened the shop on a Majestic Comics Twitter account, and you can literally, as a matter of fact, I think some people already started. They went and clicked on the thing and bought it from there, and that's dope. We also have it on a website called Global Comics. The reason why, basically exposure. Yeah. It gets it in a space where people who ordinarily would not know it exists could find it, read it, at least the first 5 pages of it, right? And we've already seen results. Things like so far, like 80 people have went there, so that's dope. That's dope. These are all good things. And on top of that, I looked on the Comixology website again to see if they made any changes, because I'm not sure if I talked about that on this show before, but Amazon then had Comixology, but they didn't change it from what it initially was, and that was dope because it was very good for comic books. Like the presentation of the way it looked using that app, awesome. And then they decided to bring it in line with their Kindle stuff, which most of those books don't have art in it. It's just print. So no, that's not a good presentation for the comic books, and it caused a ripple effect throughout, especially the indie industry, where motherfuckers don't want to put their shit up there no more, and I don't blame them.
So what you're saying is, when they made the decision to make Comixology in line with the Kindle, they were out of line?
They were so out of line.
Okay.
So out of line. And it's still shitty because I went to check to see if they did anything to fix it, and no. no, it's they're like, to me, they're doubling down on that decision to do that. So it won't be on Comixology. It'll probably be on a few other ones that we find here and there. But it won't be, and it's a damn shame because Comixology had built such a great reputation for itself that that's a great place as far as algorithm is concerned to have your comic book, because they used to get a lot of traffic.
Right.
And they screwed the pooch on that. But it is what it is. We will adjust as we always adjust.
Thanks.
And one of my last things is actually an observation. The world over, politicians are pieces of shit.
Well, I mean, come on.
And you might be tempted to ask yourself, if you are a thoughtful person, what is it? Why is the commonality of politicians being pieces of shit so uniform in countries with different cultures, different societal narratives, all of that shit, and yet politicians are still full of shit? Well, I'll tell you why. It's human, your ass. Somebody.
No, Go ahead. We're gonna get this.
Okay, all right. So,
Yo.
It's humans in proximity to power. That's what it is. And that's the commonality. That's the common thread line. So this week, that's it. Mm-hmm. So this week, BJ, blowjob. No, Boris Johnson, UK Prime Minister, resigned. Now I'm doing resigned with these fingers here.
Well, right.
Because he could have just left, and he chose not to. And I recognize that move. That's something could happen. Mm-hmm. Something could happen if I give it some space and time. Also, because they know that humans have very short memories about a lot of things. And that rewards politicians, especially the super shitty ones, because they know over the course of time, their constituents get forgetful. Other things happen in the world. Things happen in their life. And with the impact of the chicanery that they did, lessens over time. Because the way human memory is particularly now in the quick, what's this on my phone type thing. And this whole time, humans have the attention span of a goldfish. So what did
goldfish's attention spans are longer?
A little bit. Yeah. Point of order. Fair enough. Fair enough. So he's been pretty shitty over there for a lot of those folks. And when I looked at his entire timeline and I watched his little resignation, in quotations, speech, it put a couple of things to mind. One, it was his own party that got him the fuck out of there. Mm-hmm. Now, there used to be a time here in the good old states of the United or whatever. There was a time when that was possible here. Indeed, when they got Nixon the fuck out of here, that was his party. His party was like, nah, B, you can't. That shit right there, we just can't. You got motherfuckers breaking into the DNC's campaign. What? We can't. Nah, that's too far. That sadly is no longer the case in this country. But I don't want to give the UK politicians that did that, too many props, because all the lies that Boris told, they knew they were lies. Fun fact, the political community in all of these countries is very small.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
So the idea that these guys didn't know about certain shit, not likely. Not likely. Not likely. And the reason they held him up in this bullshit, the same reason why politicians here will hold their president up in bullshit. Because if they think it benefits them to do so, if they don't think this shit's going to come out and be that big of a deal, even when they know this is wrong, this is not something that they should be doing according to the oath they took and the rules that's established in this particular job, even then, they'll hold him up until he gets caught. And then at a certain point, when it seems like this is not in their self-interest anymore, they'll come out and do this ultra-moral standing, no, sir, this far, no further, expecting for the populace to be like, with tears in their eyes going, see, that's what we're talking about right there. We need more of this. No heroes. There are no heroes in the political arena. It's self-serving bullshit. And now you got people over there taking victory laps about how they stood up to Boris Johnson. Some of these same people was holding them up in that bullshit and acting like they didn't see. And I've been listening to the UK broadcasters shred the fuck out of them, right? For at least the last couple of days, all right? Shredding them in a way that I feel like the broadcast community in this country needs to be better at. Because typically what they do here is they take sides, and I'm sure they take sides over there too, because some of the complaints that I heard over there was about how the press was covering some of the bullshit they knew he was doing, right? But what I see just from my personal experience over here in the United States, they champion sides. You got one network that's almost exclusively everything that the Republicans do. They can do no wrong, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. The only wrong they can do is if any of them have the balls one day to stand up to their own party on some bullshit. Same thing over there with the Dems. You go to MSNBC, they're holding the Dems up. Now they do criticize them. They got some people on there that do go on there and criticize the Dems. So I'll give them credit for that. Some of those the commentators that come on there will criticize, but it's not to the degree that I feel it needs to be. It shouldn't be a case of we lean here or this is just journalism.
No, is this right? No, it's not right. All
right.
There should be an issue with this.
That's all. What
up, Joe?
What up, Joe? And again, it's just funny to me how all of this works. I saw something the other day too. Speaking of the whole political sphere. What's that? Oh, okay. So Brittany Griner, isn't that her name?
Oh God, yeah.
Now it's a lot we could say about that. But the one thing that caught my attention the most today was I saw certain comments basically talking about the fact that she pled guilty. And I see some of you aren't that bright. You're really not. Because some of the things that I saw being said was when they said that, this is unfair, blah, blah, blah. I saw some people do a complete stupid take to say, yeah, but she pled guilty. You don't understand how the Russian judicial system works?
Point of order, sir.
Mm-hmm. They don't understand how the American. I get that. I get that. But you do realize that was all. That's all political. That's all political. What makes you think she wasn't coerced? What makes you think? Did you see the look on her face in that one picture? She's terrified. Thank you, Jonathan. Russia has a 99% conviction rate. So this is what I'm going to ask all the people that's saying she pled guilty, so I guess that's it. Is it a nation of Columbos over there? Are they all Sherlock Holmes? That they're so good with their conviction rate that they have a 99% conviction rate? Or do you think there's some other shenanigans going on over there? The corruption stinks. And listen, I understand how you wouldn't understand that. Because like SBJ just pointedly pointed out, you don't understand how this one works. When people tell you, yo, the system is garbage, it's not, you go, well, what do you mean, you fucking child? You toddler. It's ridiculous.
Yo, you know that, like, I was 34 before I knew that, like, toddling was a thing?
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea why they called them toddlers. It's because they toddle.
They toddle.
Yeah. I had no idea. Yo, it was like 3 weeks ago when I found out that was actually a thing. Like, oh, shit. Because I had asked somebody, I'm like, so how old, what age range is a toddler? And she told me the age range, and then she was like, yeah, because that's the time they start toddling. And I'm like, what? The fuck do you, what? They start what?
It's toddle when they walk. Yes. Learn something new every day. Bro. It's just crazy the level of hypocrisy. And also, like, people will act like they're so worldly. Like they have this great grasp of the you know what I'm saying? And then they go and say something that makes you go, huh, that's odd. like that's odd. So you don't know that that's a thing, and that's like been a thing. And I get it. You got a lot of people that are only focused on their dishwashing job or when they cleaning out chimney stacks. Look, I get it.
Right.
I get it. That's your reality. And you think you know all that you need to know to get by in your life. I would strongly suggest, though, you can have that. Stop commenting on shit. Anything other. If I didn't ask you about cleaning out, you being a chimney sweep, I don't need no more information. If that's all you focused on, when I need chimney sweep information, I will hit you up for that.
I don't like you.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Really dislike you.
When you driving your stagecoach, and I ask you a question about the route, how often you feed the horses, when they take I'm just trying to get them where they at.
But
I'm trying to get them where they at, bro. I'm trying to get them where they at. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get them where they at. You know what I'm saying?
This was a choice of mine. I chose to do it.
People make choices every day, B. Look.
I need some type of psyche valve. Like, wow.
I'm just saying. Saying. But I believe that is it for this week for me.
Okay.
On to you, my good man.
Right. So, I think it was mostly uneventful.
Oh, that's good. Good to hear.
Yeah. Got some video editing done. I gotta tell you, listen, I ain't gonna hold you. I may have hinted a time or two.
Say it.
In my time on this show.
Say it.
The most fond of video. I may have hinted maybe once or twice. I may have hinted.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I mentioned to you that I made this whole process. It's glorious. There are macros and there are like 17 programs. I'm exaggerating, but
I have also mentioned to you before that once you get your shit set up in a certain way,
that's not the same thing. I'm not talking about a template. I'm talking about literal computer programming that I had to do. I'm talking about literally programming. Yeah, no, not some shit that's just within the power of the video editor.
Okay.
No. Literal. I literally had to download a different program and do programming in that program.
Oh, you enjoyed that?
Well, I'm not. I don't have an issue with programming.
Yeah,
Programming is much
exactly.
easier than editing.
No, hell no.
Not
Couldn't
easier.
possibly
Not
be.
easier.
Not
easier.
no way.
Easier is the wrong word, but
Yes.
it comes more naturally to me.
There it is. There you go.
than video editing. And dare I say, I got some time to use it. Like when I told you about it is when I had just made it.
Right.
So I had used it once,
Right.
and it was convenient. So that was enough for me to keep using it. Cause like, fuck yeah, I put the time and effort into this. I made it. I'm
Makes
using it.
sense.
It speeds things up. Great.
Right.
I think I can say I no longer actually hate
Ha
video editing. Now, I'm not saying
When the student
we'll
is
ever
ready,
go,
the master will appear.
Listen. I'm not saying we'll ever go grab a beer together or that I'll invite them on my next trip or no shit like that. But it's tolerable at this point.
No, what I will say is the next time they come to the water cooler, you'll discuss sports with them. That's
Absolutely.
what I'm saying.
Absolutely, I will, without question. Absolutely. I've seen a different side. That's all. You know,
yeah.
you can be around a person for years and not like them, and then that one thing, thing happens, and you find some commonality.
No.
Fuck you mean?
I've
had that happen.
That's never happened to me.
You
turn out not liking
different.
you.
You're
it's for
really
a reason.
Yeah, no, clearly. No, you're really different. Let's not pretend.
I'm just saying. You know,
let's not
fuck
pretend.
that. I don't like it for
what
a
language
reason.
were you programming in? The
Sanskrit
program that I was using. Shut up. The program that I was using uses JavaScript.
See.
So who the fuck is this? I swear, if it's who I think it is.
It is.
Anyway.
Exactly who you think it is.
That's funny because that's now going to go into my week. So.
I'm laughing at sis right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Hilarious.
So work was breezy because it was only a 3-day work week. I still haven't gotten that link that the guy promised he would give me 2 weeks ago, and then the business day after that, and then the week after that. Still haven't gotten that. But outside of that, work was relatively it just was what it was. Like,
it was easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Listen, nothing crazy happened. Nothing, it didn't drag super long because, again, it was only 3 days. Yeah, everything went fine, relatively. On to this next thing. So, I am, however, very upset.
Are you, though?
Because another thing I may have potentially slightly hinted at on the show is that I'm a fan of the MCU.
No, it's never come up.
Oh, okay, that must have been somewhere else. Yeah, I can say that I'm a fan of the MCU. I tend to watch every single movie that comes out.
Multiple
the day that it's available, and then the day that it's available on home release, and then the day that I just feel like watching it.
Sometimes it's just on in the background as
all these things. Yeah, absolutely. Thor: Love and Thunder is now out. It's out.
It was out Friday. It came out Friday. Thursday.
No, Thursday.
It on Thursday.
It came out on Thursday. Under normal circumstances.
Yo, Mike is ass.
under normal circumstances, I would have seen it on Thursday. Right. However, Chris, I was
about to ask you, just Chris.
Yeah, just Chris is like, we have a cookout next weekend for my mother's anniversary, and he's coming in town from Ohio. And he was like, hey, y'all, me and Aaron, hey, can we go watch Thor together? And I'm like, sure. I said, you think you can wait? I said, it's only a week, but in the event that I see it, I'll go watch it with you again. He's like, no,
How dare he?
I want to be there with you when you watch it for the first time.
How dare he?
Bruh. And I can't say no to Chris. So I'm now in this situation. So now one of my friends.
Everybody hates Chris.
So one of my friends hit me up yesterday. And she was like,
I know we going.
You want to see Thor? And I'm like, I can't. I promised my cousin out of town that I was going to watch it with him.
That's ass.
And she sent crying face emojis. And I responded saying, yeah, he basically begged me not to see it without him, blah, 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 blah. Sent her the screenshot. This was yesterday at like 6. That message that I just looked at was her responding saying, okay. What the fuck?
Wow.
Ma'am, what are you?
Wow.
Anyway,
we will actually be, we already have tickets to see it for Sunday.
I don't care.
So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got
salty.
tickets to see it.
Right.
But, you know, yeah, no, because, you know, I understand how you feel.
Turn.
Because
normally,
multiverse,
I'm the one that has seen it.
Yeah. With the exception of Endgame, we saw it around the same time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
normally, I see it first, and then I hit you up, and you're like, I didn't see it yet. I'm like, all right, cool.
Right.
I have to chill. Let me chill.
Right.
Let me chill.
Right. Also, like Jonathan says, he's seen some spoiler review. Like, I don't watch none of them. Like,
I don't have an issue with spoilers. It's like sometimes I'll watch them and sometimes I won't. Like, I'm not that person that really cares about spoilers like that. Like, it's something that I'm really excited in seeing.
It's a scale
because I'm going to see it anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't spoil the movie.
Right.
Well, the way some people do. Right. But for me, there's a scale. So you have the extremist on one end that say, "Oh, I know nothing. I don't want to see nothing." Ah!
Right.
That's not me.
Yeah.
That's not me. So I will watch trailers and shit, and I always get the benefit of the doubt, especially the Marvel Studios, that the shit they're showing me is a pittance compared to what's going to be there, and that's typically what happens, right? So, but then there's the other scale. People, I don't care. Yeah. Me, there's a line. There are certain YouTubers that I go to all the time for their commentary about comic books and stuff like that. Some of these are rather big YouTubers, so they are whitelisted, and they even get certain perks from Marvel Studios about certain things and this, that, and the third. They typically release the spoiler-heavy reviews the day after they go and see it. I ignore their channel.
The ones that I watch, they release a spoiler-free one the day after they go see it, and then like a few days later they'll go ahead and
see those. Even with that, this is the other thing too. The other reason why I stopped watching those reviews before I go see the movie, the way my brain works. If somebody mentions something in there about a certain thing about the movie that they either didn't like or whatever, and I go and watch it, that commentary they had is still up here. They go, oh yeah, and now I don't know if that would have been my authentic take on it in the moment emotionally, because you're watching it and you're getting into all the things that's happening on the screen at the time. Some shit you might not really pick up on until a year later. So I get that whole year to enjoy this thing in my head until I go back and scrutinize and go, they probably should have. I don't want that. I don't want that. So
Mike said, "Wait, is SPJ Landis MCU poison testing?" No. What actually is the case is I don't have anybody scheduled to consider.
That's it. He can go. Do this time.
right. That's actually what it is. I don't have anybody scheduled to consider. So when the movie comes out, I can just go see them. And I'm not that person. I don't need somebody like Chris.
I was the same way, B.
Who was somebody else? I can't remember. Somebody else. They want. I don't mind watching it with people that I know. Because when the early days of the MCU, I was always me, Fab,
Right.
a couple of our friends, always, every time. When release date got close, group text was sent. Hey,
Right.
what day we going?
Right.
But yeah, no, I don't do that anymore necessarily. Because actually the main thing was the pandemic. The pandemic kind of really forced it that way to where I'm not about to hit a bunch of people up like, hey, let's go to be in this.
That has never been me.
Yeah. So
That has never been me.
oh, it's releasing. I know this.
I'm gonna go. Okay.
Thursday.
I'm gonna go see it.
What I gotta do
Yeah.
that day?
Right.
Okay. Let me go.
Yeah.
Buy my
I'm
ticket.
gonna go. Yo, that's bro. Listen, don't get me wrong. Like that's one of our family things. We go into the movies, right? But before my family unit was the way it was now,
Yeah.
like, oh, this movie. The only person that needed to be entertained by this shit is me, right?
Facts.
So, the movie, especially when I wasn't dating nobody or anything, like,
Right.
what the fuck? No, I'm going to movies. And people say, you really go to movies by yourself? Yeah, motherfucker, because I'm the one that need to be entertained with the shit.
Right.
And if it's something that my daughter, I know she would like to see, when she was younger, I still would go see it first. Because that way, her being a child, in the movie theater, me trying to focus on that. And I've seen it. So I can entertain that a little bit more than I'll be way less annoyed. And because I raised my kids a certain type of way. But she was never, you know what kind of kids I'm talking about. You go to these movie theaters, these people bring these kids there because they couldn't find a babysitter. No, damn well these kids aren't old enough or mature enough to sit there and not fuck up the experience for everybody else. My daughter was never that type. And I didn't give her the chance to be either because when she was young, I wasn't taking her to the movie. Look, oh, no, I got my daughter this weekend, so I won't be going to this movie because I'm not taking her in there to spoil somebody else's viewing experience. I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, just going to, I'm going to do, nigga, I'm the one that need to be entertained. But now that I have my family, it's different. I'll never forget going to see Civil War. Me, my son, my daughter, my wife, we sitting there. That one scene where Ant-Man said, I think I got something that can distract them. Me and my son looked at each other like this, right? Because we know what and it was like, is he about to go big? I was like, he's about to go big. And then he hit that button and he went big. We went, Yo, I love going to the movie theater, movies with my family, but my family unit hasn't always been what it is now. And I would just take what? It's out? Oh, I'm going to see that.
Yeah.
I'm not calling Napalm or Marlon or my homegirl Wanda, none of that. No, I'm going to the movies.
If it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
I'm not about to.
Yeah.
And that's how I am. I'm not searching to initiate.
You'd be I guess you wouldn't be surprised. There are a lot of people that can't do that. They feel weird about going.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
If you're not good company for yourself, here's a hint.
Movies by yourself. Yeah.
If you ain't good company for yourself, you ain't gonna be good company for nobody. That's just like
that's a generalization to live by.
Yeah.
So so that's its old thing. Then I got banned on TikTok. So let me show y'all this video.
Oh, wait a minute, whoa! Don't show up from TikTok because you might get.
No, I'm showing it from my computer. Shut up. Yeah, let me show y'all this video because it's like, bruh, what is going on?
This is so dumb.
Oh, let me set up the video first.
Please set this video up because
the original video that I'm it's a video that I'm responding to. The original video, the young lady that you see on the screen, she was saying something to the effect. I mean, it's in the words right there, but she was basically saying that the men don't treat the women like the men from the 80s and 90s used to, and she was lauding the men from the 80s and 90s. Well, then this young man, who looks like he's 17,
he looks younger than my son.
All right. Decided that he was going to do a little rapidy rap. about how women in the 80s and 90s were this paragon of virtue, and how
no man would think of approaching them on them.
No, none of that. So my initial thought was
right, sis.
McKenna
has
has
an echo,
so
so
do I. It's because I'm sharing my audio.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. So I saw this and my initial thoughts were, how dare this? It's crazy how different I am than how I was before I started rapping.
It's
that initial thought was, how dare he besmirch rap by doing that?
I can't.
But then I was like, all right, well, I'm about to eviscerate this. And I was like, no. I don't have the energy. I don't have the time. Like, this was literally spur of the moment. I don't have the energy or the time to write bars and perform them for this motherfucker. So I went back into my older bag, because as Tim and I were discussing, SPJ is not my rap name. I've been SPJ for years. So I went back to my SPJ bag, and here's what happened.
I know I'm gonna get a lot of negative replies to this, falsified views labeling me as misogynist.
Well, if the shoe fits, bro. Speaking of false narratives,
Chivalry no longer incentivized. Everybody underdressed or over-sexualized.
you mean like,
Pants down, boobs out.
oh yeah, because back when they used to,
The guys.
Think them ladies in the 90s got no freak mode?
oh, you want more pictures?
Like a part of freak need to have on hoochie clothes.
Now you had to meet the parents, hold the daughter. Look, it was a word called courting.
Teen pregnancy rates. Might have something to say about that.
Them days done with it, whatever. Instead of worrying about the 80s and 90s, let's just be 100 with it.
I agree. So, yeah, that's all the shit that he was saying was incorrect. My issue, my I don't even know what my biggest issue is. One of my issues is I was not yet a teenager,
Right.
when the year 2000 rolled around. I was turning 13 that year, in the year 2000.
Right.
And I knew that all the shit that he was saying was incorrect.
So cap.
Sir, you don't have memories of the 90s. I at least have memories of the 90s. I don't know. Maybe he, black don't crack. Maybe he is a little bit older than we think he is. Maybe he is.
It's possible.
Maybe he is. But he don't look like he got memory the first of the decade of the 1990s.
Bro.
I don't want to. Your mama lied to you. Your daddy lied to you. You need to go talk to your parents.
Somebody
or your uncles
lied to
or
you.
your aunts.
Uncles, go talk to your. No, don't talk to your aunts. Go talk to your uncles, because the aunts gonna care too. Go talk to your uncles. This part is crazy, because what it actually wound up doing is it showed me yet again that as time goes on, the understanding of certain time periods.
Wait, McKenna sent those born in 2000. We'll just sit this one out. Listen. Here's the difference, right? Here's the difference. And it was something we were talking about. It was another episode, one of the recent episodes, we was talking about what makes a classic, and if you're a certain age, where you I'm gonna get to that, Marissa. If you're a certain age, can you say something is not a classic? Like, I feel like, and to McKenna's point, I feel like if the narrative, whatever the narrative is, you can go along with it depending on what it is, but you can't refute it depending
Right.
on what it is, because you weren't there. Like
Right.
if I'm telling, I was born in the 80s, if I'm telling someone like McKenna that this is what was going on in the 90s,
Right.
it will make sense for, she can co-sign that,
Right.
because of her anecdotal evidence,
Right.
but she can't refute that based on
Right.
her anecdotal evidence. 'Cause
Right. She has no way
literally,
of
I was
having it.
there.
Right.
Yeah, I was literally there. So, no, I don't. But anyway, Sis says also the 80s and 90s weren't the first rodeo. Yeah, see, here's what happened.
This is the
When
other
I
point.
had
we were
watched, I had
saying.
watched this first, and before I even started making a video, me and Tim was talking about it,
Yes.
and I was like, wait, wasn't like
What
the
the-
70s like the free love era?
60s
Right.
and 70s.
Right. So I'm like, nah, B, that's not how. And
Yo,
then
it's such
from that
cap.
conversation, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
You need to respond
I was
to
like, wait,
You need to respond to
Freaknik. When did Freaknik start? Freaknik started in like 84 or something.
Black Bikers Convention
Black Bikers
in Georgia.
Week, Woodstock,
Stop it!
Mardi Gras, all these things that were absolutely happening in the 80s and 90s.
So, for the record, you know I was outside in the 80s.
Bruh.
I was outside. I was going to clubs. I was doing all.
Right.
What are you? The way see, the original video that he was doing that in support of apparently
Yeah.
was this girl that was apparently lied to by her moms and aunts and all that.
Mhm.
That somehow in the 80s, everyone had these big buckles on their shoes, on their belts and on their hats, and they were Quakers. And it was
the Roaring 20s? What?
what? Are we serious right now? So I was like,
So you think that the days of Caligula just stopped? So
and this where I went from being super annoyed by them to really pissed at their parents. Because or whatever the adult was they gave them this because you capping because you I bet you think you're doing it for a good reason. If we tell them this is how we didn't do it this way, that would somehow inspire them to not do that you don't want them to do.
sure,
I got to tell
possibly,
you that typically when you're a parent, you might be a young parent and we explain something to you. Their kids will do the opposite of what the
Yeah,
fuck
bro.
they will do the opposite of that shit. And
Yeah,
then
that might not be helpful.
when they find out you was capping,
Oh,
your credibility is in the toilet.
Shot.
You know how you could actually make better inroads the same way I taught them, my kids and my wife taught our kids. But just keep it real.
Being honest, yeah.
Keep it real. Keep it
Yeah.
real. Because they're gonna need your real life experience, not this manufactured bullshit you doing to save face. They're gonna need your real life experience. So when I tell my son when things were happening, he got a little older, and maybe some violent stuff happened, this is why you don't want to get involved with this shit.
Bruh.
Tell him not that. Oh yeah, because I always handle situations calmly and this that. And that. No, shit's crazy, bro.
No, McKenna, that wasn't even a show. that was a all right. So
Festival.
Freaknik started off as a get together for HBCUs.
Yes.
Where they can have their own spring break.
Yes.
Basically, it was the idea. That's how it started, and then it expanded because these black children at PWIs,
yes,
were like, oh, they're having this thing in Atlanta just for us.
Mm-hmm.
So
we going to that.
We gonna go to that. So it blossomed, and as evidenced by the free love era, as evidenced by the Roaring 20s, as evidenced by the days of Caligula himself.
You know what's going to happen.
As long as there are people, they will be horny.
Yeah,
and as long as they are horny, they will act upon said horniness. It's just that simple.
Now, I will say this, McKenna. The Girls Gone Wild type of shows or whatever, or
an
videos,
evolution of spring
was
break.
an evolution of spring break and those type of environments. It came from
Again,
that. The guy got an idea with
Mardi
the camera,
Gras,
right? To go out there and do,
right.
yeah. But that stuff was already happening. The guy just put the camera on it and made a bunch of money off of it. That's all that was. Yeah, like Freaknik was what? Yo,
nigga,
are you seriously sitting there acting like this was the era of what was that, the courtship of Eddie Father or some shit? You trying to paint the picture that the 80s and 90s was the Leave It to Beaver era? Really? The 80s and 90s. So just so you know the type of music.
No, nigga, you degenerate. Fam said that anybody ever buy the Girls Gone Wild.
You're so ass. You're so ass. Fam is ass, yo.
No, I got him for free like any other respect.
Yo, man, was ass, yo. Yo, these motherfuckers really tried to make that out. Yo, you do realize that NWA came out in the late 80s?
Bruh.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yo, Two Live Crew.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on now. I threw in the whole Tootsie Roll thing. Like, what are you...
Bro,
what are you talking about?
Remember when we talked about... Remember when you first showed me that first video and then his thing, and we started talking, and I was like, yo, the team pregnancy, all of my friends.
Bruh.
All of my friends.
Yo,
had
forget
kids.
anecdotal evidence. I looked it up. That little screenshot in the video, I looked it up. It said, effectively, in 1987, the team
graduated.
Skyrocketed.
Listen.
And then here's the other thing. Use simple math. My mother was 20 when I was born. And her birthday is a couple months before us. So what is that technically? A teen pregnancy.
Oh, but hold up.
Just use the math. Like, what are we talking about?
But it gets even more laughable than that. Because why do you think they called that era the baby boom?
Come on, yo. What do you mean?
Yo,
the generation slightly before yours, they started having babies like crazy. And
how you think that happened? Immaculate conception?
Bruh, it wasn't that everybody was getting married.
No.
That wasn't the case.
No.
This nigga talking about you had to meet the parents, you had to wait them for months. What the fuck are you?
No.
You weren't born. You couldn't have been. There's no way. After I did the video, I remember something else, and I was talking to Tim like, yo, don't be a menace to South Central while drinking is using the hood. It's a movie that came out in the 90s.
Yes.
Literally, there's a scene in there in the beginning of the movie where it's a party and they're dancing, and it's a commentary on how wild these parties get, and it's an evolution. It's a couple dancing, and then it's a couple dancing a little more suggestively, and then the punchline of that joke is a couple ass naked, basically fucking on the screen at a party. This shit wasn't just made up.
And that movie came out after Boys in the Hood, which dealt with a lot of issues. And one of the issues was the having a young couple, not married, still in school, having a baby. Ice Cube's brother had a baby. Like,
come on, yo.
What the fuck y'all think?
You could not have been here.
No.
There is no way. And I'm not even talking about being an adult. I was not an adult in the 90s. There's no way you were here.
Bro, all of my friends, with the exception of one, had children before I got out of high school.
That's the line. That's the line that happened during that scene. He said, look at them freaks getting busy on the dance floor. Like, come on, bro. What are you talking about?
And
Here's
then,
the thing.
That's embarrassing, bro.
I'm mad because both sides do it. Men and women do this bullshit. And it's something that I had seen a lot when I was on my old Facebook profile, and I was fussing about it a lot. People talking about, oh, the man, they didn't get divorced, and the man took care of his family. She didn't have to work, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, also, because you were children at the time, here are the things that you didn't know about that situation.
Yeah.
He cheated on her all the time.
He
abused her all the time.
Yes, he did.
And I'm like, I understand. I get it. I get the rosy picture that you.
The nostalgia, the filter of nostalgia y'all put on these past events.
But let's be real.
Facts. Facts.
Like,
Which,
what
by the
are we
way,
talking
by the
about?
way, Pac recorded that in Baltimore, over there in Park Heights, in Black Hat Studio,
That is
which
true.
I also recorded out of that studio as well. And I know the guys that mixed it, mastered it, all of that. Yeah. But anyway, it's ridiculous, bro.
I'm like, what are we talking about here?
Like, come on. The
My parents
90s?
got married after only knowing each other for a few months, so my mom could live in his place. And the first time they met was with a couple of friends, and they all watched porn. Yeah, she told us that story.
She did.
Facts.
So he told us that. She told us.
Thanks. Like,
Come
this
on,
is
man.
not, like, what are we talking about? Like, that's
And this was in the early 90s. Yo,
That's
stop
the
it,
most
yo.
egregious thing about this. Like, what the fuck are you talking? Where are you getting this information from?
And what makes you think, yo, this is the other thing that's crazy too, because you see this happen all the time. Even when they talk about violence, right? So when they see certain going on in certain urban neighborhoods or whatever, they go, yeah, remember, it wasn't always like this. Bro, the school that I went to had school shootings.
Right.
One shooting happened at one of the dances.
Yeah.
And another shooting happened during school in the cafeteria. We sitting in there, a beef from outside because it's a neighborhood school. So it's neighborhood beef outside the school, rolled up into the school, motherfuckers start shooting. You would think the way some of these people talk now that it just started getting bad. No, I went to a school where people were shooting. Now, it was different where they didn't go in and just shoot a bunch of randos.
Mass shooting, right.
No, it was an actual beef, and they went after the person they was going after. But, yo, it's been fucked up for a while, Pete. It's been fucked up for a while.
And then another thing in the original video, he said something about every other post is getting too loud. There's a trend on TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. It's a song where the dude says, I ain't even got to walk in with my tool out. And then there's a clapping sound, and it says it's getting too loud. And women have taken to this trend, and when the clapping sound starts, they twerk and blah, blah, blah,
right.
blah. Yeah, because TikTok didn't exist in the fucking 90s. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like,
everything that you see happening now on social media would have happened had the internet been available in the 80s and the 90s too.
And what has been happening. You just didn't see it.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking? Chat rooms existed. No, there wasn't a way to put video on them, but nigga, we're talking in the...
Yeah.
Anyway.
The talk different. Yeah. No, it ain't.
But anyway... If you looked at that the video that I made, there are pictures and video of women exposing their bare chest. So when I uploaded it to Instagram first. No, I uploaded it to TikTok first, actually. Mm-hmm. Then I uploaded it to Instagram. I never went back on the TikTok.
Right.
So I went back just to see what it was doing, what the video was doing.
Right.
And it was like, you gotta log back in. I'm like, okay, that's odd. So I log back in, and it says, your account has been permanently banned. The fuck did I do? It didn't register in my head that I had those pictures in that video. Because they're blurred out. They're not. Yeah. I'm not showing bare breasts and nipples.
Yeah,
this shit is blurred out. So I was like, "What the fuck?" It was like, "You can appeal." I'm like, "Okay, I appeal," but it requires you to give a description. Again, I didn't know what the fuck had happened. I literally typed in, "I'm not sure what even happened." Hit send. About 30 seconds later, I got an email saying that we reversed the ban.
Crazy.
What? So what was the point of...
I think a bot caught it, and then somebody looked at it.
Well, here's the thing. No, because when I was able to get back into my account, I saw the flags for the video.
Oh, damn.
And I clicked on it to appeal it. To this day. I have not gotten a response from them.
Oh, damn.
So nobody ever looked at the video.
That shit is all over the place, yo.
Like, come the fuck on, bro. Like, what are we doing?
That shit's all over the place.
That was that.
And this is one of the reasons why. So we went and hired a social media manager because it's too. Yo, the way this shit rolls is just too. It's too contradictory. One moment it's this, next moment it's that. And somebody doesn't do their job, and somebody is on their job this day. So now this gets, get somebody else to deal with that shit. So
Absolutely. Let me see.
That's a fact. I just read Marissa's. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's real shit.
McKenna, that used to happen. That parking lot at football games. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll give a classic example. So Edmondson was playing Walbrook Warriors, right? At their homecoming. You know how embarrassing it is to lose at your homecoming. It's embarrassing.
Down like that.
Emerson's football team was famous for giving y'all L's at your homecoming. But this Walbrook Junction, all right? So the people that's in there watching the homecoming, it's not just students, faculty, blah, blah, blah. No, it's the people in the neighborhood. They over there watching that too. And when they took that L, horrible L they took, the neighborhood didn't like it. The neighborhood hated it. So when the Edmondson football team was leaving, they start shooting at the bus. Yeah, like this shit is not new. This shit, it's been bad for a while. It's been bad for a while, you know?
Yeah. So this is a random stream of consciousness rabbit hole that I went down the other day. So Marcus and I were somewhere. We were in the same room together, and he was talking to somebody. I don't even remember who the fuck he was talking to.
Right.
He was talking about the VA hospital downtown, and he referred to it as up the street from where we work. She asked where exactly was it located. He said on Green Street. She said, that ain't up the street. Now, here's the thing. It's literally like 6 streets over. What? I went down this rabbit hole that is at least slightly problematic, so I'm not going to share that. But another one I went down was like, it's crazy how the cycle with colloquialisms works. Like, the colloquialism is born, and then over time, people start to take it literally. And then you have the people who either necessarily or unnecessarily start preaching to people that it's not actually true, so forth and so on. But to you, I asked the question, how long does it have to be to no longer be considered up the street?
There is no consistent metric on that. I think people have these anecdotal perceptions that are contradictory because in one memory they have of a location that's even further away than the shit they're saying is not just up the street. They'll say that's up the street.
Right.
I like for me, all right, my personal one, when I was younger on the block, up the street meant, the block up. The block up the street this way. Block up. Right. But as I gotten older, because I wasn't walking, I was able to use
you were
cars
walking
and
there.
bikes.
It's funny. I was about to say.
You know what I'm saying? So now up the street is a lot further,
right,
than it was when I was a kid.
That's what it is for me. For me, no, it was literally up the street.
Jonathan is ass.
It's funny. That's funny you said that, and I didn't even think about that. But no, actually, it wasn't. It is an incline to get there.
Oh, so it's up.
No,
it
literally is up. Anyway, as a walker, because I'm a walker, so 6 blocks is not long. Like, it may take you a long time depending on how fast you
I walk 6 miles periodically on my walk. Like that ain't no goddamn.
Yeah, like I don't.
But like you said, you got to allow for those that have some sort of a physical whatever they can't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just confused because like, now for instance, I would never say, all right. So for those that aren't from here, Route 40 basically is effectively one long street. Like there's a way. So it's all the way from Pulaski Highway and then Orleans Street, and then Franklin, and then Emerson Avenue, and then it's actually Emerson Avenue for a long time. But it's effectively one street. If I'm and that ranges from the west side to the east side. So
Right.
Emerson Avenue is on the west side. Pulaski Highway is all the way on the east.
On the
side.
east, yeah.
They're part of one street, though. You could technically say.
Mm-hmm.
I would not call if I'm at Pulaski Highway. I wouldn't say Emerson Avenue is up the street.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Yeah. But
So-
but to your point, when I was younger anyway, I still lived in the area. When me, Marlon, my brother Lance, my homeboy Pelix, when we would say we're going up to Route 40,
Mm-hmm.
the perception that was never that it was just up the street. Even from where I lived, and I lived right before you got to the bridge before Poplar Grove. I lived at the bottom of Emerson Village
Right.
during that period of time, and there were times we would literally walk just for something to do and getting into shit from the bottom of Emerson Village all the way out there past Double T Diner.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We would do that shit, and that we didn't think that was just up the street.
No,
You know?
and that's what I'm
Right,
saying.
right.
So like I scoffed when she said, like, I didn't interject because
Right.
I wasn't in the conversation.
Right.
But I did scoff, like, fuck you, man, it's not up the street, it's 6 blocks. What? But then it just made me start thinking, like, yo, when do people stop considering something up the street? Like,
I don't know.
or like my favorite
McKenna
one.
in here spewing facts. This is all. I read all the shit. I read all of the shit like years ago about Shakespeare, his audience being partly undereducated, lower class people. Yo, it's funny how we. It's funny how we perceive Shakespearean shit now,
Facts.
as opposed to how it was perceived at the time.
Yeah, perception is reality, my guy.
Nah, B. To me, that's still it's too inconsistent a measure.
Yeah.
Like everybody has their own perception of space and time when it comes to that.
Yeah.
How long it takes to get there, how far it actually is.
My favorite one is around the corner. Cause
Yeah.
you can,
Yeah.
because if you take that literally, then turn.
You would have to turn.
Right.
No, yes, you would have to turn. Look, you said it's around the corner, right? So,
Right.
The fuck?
And whatever. So let me see. All right, so this is what we got. Instead of a dumbass of the week in the new style,
Yes.
in the new style that I've been doing, I have 2 dumbasses of the week in the old style.
Oh, got you.
This ain't a question.
Right.
I'm not looking for an answer here.
No, these people are just
We
dumb.
are telling you.
People are dumb.
Pick a number between 1 and 10.
50. Oh, wait a minute. You said 1. 8.
8 even. All right.
Even what?
Shut up. Macy Gray says America left her traumatized. That's what the fuck I was laughing at. Earlier when I started busting out laughing, I was like, we gonna get to this is what the fuck I was left you. Let me read. Let me read this. Macy Gray has been at the center of controversy this week.
Has she? I had noticed.
The singer received backlash for comments she made about gender identity during an interview with Piers Morgan, which prompted critics to call her ignorant, transphobic.
Oh no,
those
critics are right on point. They're
Hold on.
I'm talking about the ignorant shit.
Wait.
Yeah, she's
Let's
ignorant.
be real.
Uh-oh.
Calling her a one-hit wonder is absolutely inappropriate to call her a one-hit wonder based on her thoughts of
I don't know
whatever.
why that was a thing.
But now, calling her a one-hit wonder is absolutely accurate.
It is accurate.
But she didn't need this controversy
in context
to be a
what
one-hit
this
wonder.
is supposed to
She's
be about.
already a one-hit wonder.
Right,
you ain't gotta.
right.
She didn't need to do this to be a one.
Right.
She's a one-hit wonder. I try. That's the hit. There are other songs that she sung that I like.
Me too.
There are other songs that she sung that may have made her some money. Absolutely.
The song she had
She
on
was
the,
in Training Day.
the first Spider-Man soundtrack I thought was dope.
Mm-hmm. There's this cartoon called As Told by Ginger. She did the theme song to that. I love that damn theme song. When I Try came out, I loved I Try. Like I Try was the shit when it came. But anyway,
she sound goofy.
they're calling her. Oh, they're calling her ignorant. They're calling her transphobic. They're calling her a one-hit wonder, and they're calling her a TERF. For those who don't know, TERF is for transgender, exclusionary, radical feminist. Gray has continued to speak out about her statements, including on Wednesday in an Instagram post in which she revealed that her new album, which is the entire reason she was being interviewed in the first place. Let's keep the main thing the main thing. Let's keep the main thing the main thing. The reason she was even being interviewed by anyone is because she had an album coming out called The Reset. Right. She's now pushed it back to August 10th. It was originally supposed to come out July 8th. Now, here's a couple things. I just found this out. Here's a couple things about this. Number one, Macy Gray has to have the absolute worst team behind her.
Manager,
or she's doing it by herself.
Agent, whatever. They suck.
Or
they
she's doing it by herself.
Yeah.
Because that initial incident on Piers Morgan, there was almost no way to avoid that. I get that.
First of all, why are you on Piers Morgan?
That's funny. That's funny, Mike. No, that's true. That's true. So I'm wrong. That would have been the way to avoid that.
Yeah. Why are you on
Given
Piers
who she is, once she made it there was no way to avoid what she said. It was going to happen. But after that, you have another interview.
She could have just not said that though. Like I didn't see the beginning.
No.
Did he ask her?
They were talking about.
Okay, all right.
But even though they were talking about, it was absolutely always a choice. You can always shut the fuck up.
That's always available.
I implore you guys.
It's always
anyone
available.
under the sound of my voice, please understand. It's always an option. You can shut the fuck up, especially if you live here. You have the right to remain. It's the first Miranda right.
Oh, excuse me. Supreme Court got.
Yeah, I know. We don't have. They don't have to tell you Miranda rights anymore.
But
I get that. But still, it's the very first one.
You watch the fuck up. You watch
even
another.
Even though
you watch enough Law and Order shows.
Right. Come on. Even though they don't have to tell you anymore, the rights still stand. They still apply. Yeah. They just don't gotta tell you because apparently
they
you
won't
should
get
just
sued
know
anymore.
Yeah.
Right,
apparently you should just know at this point. But
well, listen. Law and Order's been on TV how long?
Absolutely.
Y'all motherfuckers.
But not even just Law and Order. There are several different, in various shows that has nothing to do with law.
And
if somebody gets arrested, you tend to hear the beginning.
You have the right to remain silent.
Like you don't necessarily hear all of them, but you hear you have the right to remain silent. Right. You have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, one should be provided for you. You hear at least that on a myriad of shows and movies and all that other shit. So anyway, so after the point of her saying shit, why did nobody inform her or set her up? You had another interview come in because, again, let's not forget, the reason you were on this media tour is because your album is coming out. No, that's true, fam. I'm not saying it's easy. Shutting the fuck up is not easy.
But it's available.
But it's available.
It's always available.
Option. It's always an option.
And you can do this.
You can literally. You can just physically restrain yourself.
Restrain yourself. Like, I'm not saying nothing.
So then she gets on another interview and gives this dumbass, ill thought out apology that did not help anything.
That shit did not land.
So my issue with that is your people should have had you prepared for that. They should have had you prepared for that.
Please explain to me how, after seeing this shitstorm, they didn't grab her.
Sitting in it for a week.
Sitting, like, lambastic, marinating in it. It's sizzling her spirit for a week. And none of your, if you have those people, none of those people pulled you into a room and said, okay, we got to do damage control.
This is what you do.
This is what you say. Blah, blah, blah.
This is how you say it. And after sentence 2, you take a deep breath. You wipe your face.
Yeah.
You continue on after sentence 5.
You look at the camera, making appeals.
You have a catch in your throat. Like this is what you're supposed to have people for this.
Yeah.
She does that wrong, and then
wrong. When you say wrong, that's such a. This was so cringe,
bruh.
This was so cringe.
Bruh. So she does that wrong, and then you push back your album. Sure, That makes sense. You push back your album a month and 2 days?
Yeah.
I understand the 24-hour media cycle, but it's not somebody else doing something else. Nope. It's you doing something else.
Yep.
So that don't just go away. Like,
and they're going to bring it up. Listen,
right.
When she drops that album and starts doing the press for it, they're going to bring it up. The same way you just described those story thing that says they're gonna do it in that way. Yeah, she said, Macy Gray, the one that just said the thing 2 months ago about something, she's dropping her album now.
That part, it's not gonna go away in a month. Like, what do you? So anyway, all of you coming on this is what she said. All of you coming on my page, threatening me and calling me names just because I said something you don't agree with. Be whatever you want to be and fuck off. This is what she wrote. Before that interview that we were referring to, where she said she never meant to hurt anybody. She said in this interview that we're talking about, she said it's just about an education, and she wants to get to a point where everyone can understand each other. She noted that it's been a huge learning experience for her. Being a woman is this is a part that wasn't in that clip that we watched.
Yeah.
She says, being a woman is a vibe, and it's something that I'm very proud of, and it's very precious to me. And I think that if you, in your heart, feel that that's what you are, then that's what you are, regardless of what anybody says or thinks. Now, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Just throwing this out here.
Uh-oh.
Maybe when Piers asked you that question, you should have said that. Just maybe. Maybe, because Because here's the thing. Your logic isn't logicking. Yes, I said logicking. Your logic isn't logicking because your original statement was, I'm paraphrasing, surgery does not make you a woman.
That
right?
is a great paraphrase of what she said.
That was your initial feeling on this situation.
Yeah. This
statement says, being a woman is a vibe, and if you feel in your heart that you're a woman, then you're a woman. Here's the thing. If you truly believe that, then the former statement was completely unnecessary.
Facts. What's up, Patriot? Facts.
What up?
Exactly.
The initial statement was unnecessary. Even if you feel that way, it is a moot point, because if you feel that, if the person feels that they are a thing, then they are a thing.
Right.
Then there was literally no. This is an example that I can give from this point forward. Mm-hmm. When I talk about people like having to be right with, and for those who aren't watching,
not accurate,
air quotes. They're air quotes.
Yeah. Right.
Having to be right,
but not accurate.
You just felt you had to get that off your chest.
Yeah.
Even if, best case scenario, let's say I believe that you really feel this way, mm-hmm. then it was completely unnecessary for you to say the other thing. You can absolutely feel both ways.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, yeah, you can.
Humans are inherently contradictory.
And here's the thing. Well, I don't know. At its most innocent, this isn't a contradiction.
I think it kind of still is.
I don't think so.
This is the reason why I say that. She said very strongly.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
It's the word sorry. It's the word sorry for me. It's the word sorry for me in that first one, in that first thing. Like, don't mean to burst your bubble. Don't mean that's what that was.
Absolutely.
So then to come out and say, look, if it's in your heart, to me it's a vibe.
Well, no, my argument is not that. My argument isn't that she meant both things. My argument is that both statements can be true and not be contradictory.
Yeah.
Her saying it the way she said it seemed like she meant that first one.
It's for those of you, y'all know my thing about this. Like, we've already seen this play out before. And if we've seen it, they've seen it. So,
yeah, because bare minimum, why say it? Even if you feel it vehemently.
Did you think this was going to help you in some way?
Why say it?
Did Pierce? Because see, this is what I mean about energy is very contagious.
Yeah.
That's why some of these shows, if you don't go on some of these programs with a clear cut idea of what you're trying to do.
She literally said she knew people were going to be mad at her for saying
that. She started out saying it. She started out saying that.
She started that sentence that way. I might get in trouble for this. People are not going to like what I. In some effect, she said exactly that. So again, why say it? What was the point of saying it? And that, Cindy, is exactly where a publicist, an actual publicist,
would have
come in handy.
My thing is,
no publicity is bad publicity is bullshit, especially in this day and age.
This day and age, it'll get you. They'll take you to get you the fuck out of here, right?
The fuck
up out of here. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man. It's crazy to me because with a guy like Pierce Morgan, I'm gonna give an example of another celebrity going on a similar type, whatever. Cameron years ago. Went on the Bill O'Reilly show. And he went on there with a purpose. And he went on there being him. And he went on there with the man, I know this is a fuck nigga right here. I know. And when he went on there and O'Reilly did it, what he expected O'Reilly to do, Cameron did what we expected Cameron to do. Joke him, make him feel stupid, and then eventually get put off the show. Right. When you go on a show like Pierce Morgan, you got to know who Pierce Morgan is.
You got to
know what kind of asshole he is. And I think what happened with her, too, she got swept up in the energy of the show. Pierce Morgan says dumb shit like this all the fucking time. He says shit like this all the fucking time, right? She swept up in it, and she got these feelings. And she's not thinking, to me, the way someone with a project that's about to release, you're trying to get this publicity, you're trying to get the awareness about. You got on there and got caught up with his bullshit and said, I'm going to edgelord it too. I'm going to edgelord it
too. Wait. I haven't watched the entire interview, of course, because
either I don't watch Pierce Morgan.
Pierce Morgan, yeah. But I don't think that's what happened from the clip that I saw.
I think he asked her, or did he get
he was playing good cop, and kind of like nudging her towards saying what she said, like. He wasn't like his statements that he was making, from what I remember, from what I heard, were not bigoted statements.
Yeah, but we got to get the
and I think
context.
That was on purpose. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because I've seen other pundits do this.
Right.
Where they say, tell the people why, and then they'll go into saying some stuff that's not what they really think. And anybody that watches the show knows they don't think like this.
Right.
But they're trying to elicit that person.
And I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened. When he did that, she felt comfortable.
Right.
Because he didn't come out the gate attacking anybody. And I feel like, of course he has. No, so I think what happened is she wasn't aware of who he was.
Which is crazy to me, too.
And she went on his show because, again, she needs that publicity. She's the one that wondered about, come on now. She's the one who wanted to try to release her album.
Yeah.
She needs that energy. So she goes on the show because it's one of the places that accepted her. And she hears somehow, I don't even know how they ended up on the topic of transgenders. But they were talking about it. And again, he wasn't super aggressive. He wasn't being a bigot at the moment. And he was just talking about it, and it flowed. And I think she felt way too comfortable, forgot what she was doing. And then when she started talking, she realized, and that's when she said a lot of people going to be mad at me. But she had...
You could have stopped before that.
It's a joke. I can't remember what show it's from. It's a joke from some show. And one character was telling another character, don't do this thing. And he was like, it's too late. I've already started doing it. It was like, well, no, you could just stop. You could just stop right now. Nope, too late. I've already gone too far. I think that's what happened with her, yo.
Yo, the thing that's crazy... She says, I know people are going to be mad at when you say that. See that? See, that's the part that let me know. Like, here's the thing. I know I'm going to get locked up for this, but I'm about to clunk this dude over the head and
Right.
take his wife.
What
Yo,
up, cuz?
why do that? Why do that? What's up, DJ? Why do that? You're saying to me, I know I'm about to go to jail for this,
Right.
but I'm about to. Why do that? Okay, so stop. You're not about to go to. Don't. Nah.
You're right.
She
right.
said y'all gonna
You
be
are
mad.
setting yourself up. There's no reason for you to. There's no reason for you to let those words come out of your mouth. Any of it, actually. Any of it. First of all, but particularly if you were set on saying the second part, there was absolutely no reason for you.
If
to say
you
the first
knew
part.
that it was gonna make people mad in the first place, then that means
Right.
you know you was about to say something.
Like you
that
just
was
gave
going-
up your plausible.
Yeah, yo, like I'm not. Listen. And again, I like to know. Maybe I don't know because I don't watch the show. So is Pierce Morgan one of the show enough stops that you got to go to when you got a movie coming out or
Here's
an
the
album
thing.
coming out?
Again,
Is
I
he
don't
that
think
guy?
that's what I think what it was is that was one of the places that accepted her.
See, the problem with taking those places like his is because he is very outwardly political. It's not like it's not like one of these like Entertainment Tonight where you're about to go up there and they're going to talk about your project, your career, this, that, and the third. No, he's going to drag you into some sort of
Whatever the topic
political,
of the
social.
day.
He's going to drag you into that.
Yep.
You know, exactly, Mike. Know who is interviewing you and be choosy. You don't need like. Listen, this is not the day and time. This what had me thinking that at first too, about the bad press. All press is good press, whatever, because there are a lot of in the rap world.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of goofy ass dudes who will do goofy ass shit before they drop an album or say something goofy as shit just to get the attention. This is this has been a thing that was going on for a while with a lot of the younger acts would go on Instagram or Twitter and say or do something just so they could get in the algorithm with the search engines, and then they drop some shit, and then people looking at the fucked up shit they said and come across the album or whatever. I don't think that's as effective as it used to be. I think that era is kind of winding down, and people just gonna not fuck with you. Oh, he like that? Now, if they like that bullshit you said, that's different. That's the other thing we've seen too. There is a cottage industry out there of people who are going to support every offensive artist, actor, product, you name it. Oh, they said something really fucked up about this person, this group. Since I'm one of these people who I'm a free speech absolutist that feel like a free speech absolutist. I feel like everybody should be able to say everything at every time, at any place, regardless of whether the people that are like that will go out of their way to support them. I've literally seen things that ordinarily you would think anyway that you ain't gonna get no traction after you did this or said this, and then there's a group of people that come along after that and go, take my money, to spite the people on the other side that they don't like. Yeah. I've seen this happen. You see it happen with when police.
Actually, she might just be politically ignorant.
I know. I think that's what it is.
The reason I say that is because the article continues. Shortly before the singer made her controversial remarks, she spoke to Fox News Digital about how the events of 2020 inspired her to create the reset. So,
okay, so
this is a Fox News article, by the way.
Let me ask you this about that. Not having heard the music on the album or any of the content on the album, when I hear something like the reset, it does come off. There's a part of me that does put a spin on it that could be political, given the stuff she said around it, like doing the whole COVID thing. They got the blah blah blah, and then
no. Let me assuage those those concerns. Quote: "This is something you don't hear about. Those that get left behind. These are parents that have to live with that pain, a pain that never goes away. You can't fix it. You can't take away that pain from a mother who lost her son or daughter through murder.
Okay.
But you can make some things easier, like helping financially with funerals. And the biggest request we receive is mental health resources. They all want someone to talk to, but they don't know where to go." This is her talking about the George Floyd thing.
Okay.
So, yes, absolutely, there is an agenda. It is political in a way. as far as this upcoming album. She said these were the things that inspired the album. So again, I think she's just politically ignorant. Like, and here's the thing. Yo. All right. So
she showed it on the apology tour.
Damn my you stupid. Damn my penchant for finding connections and recognizing patterns and shit. So,
well, you are pattern seeking ape. So
I mean, one of the things that this reminds me of, it's not a 1-to-1, and the result won't be the same because black people don't be about the shit that they say they about the way that they should be about it from time to time.
Facts.
Chrisette Michele.
Oh yeah.
Chrisette Michele was a burgeoning R&B artist. Mm-hmm. She had a song with Nas. She had a song with Jay-Z. She had her own songs out. And then there was this, we'll call it a concert for now, just for the purposes of a dramatic reveal. There was this concert. And the concert was having a hard time finding black artists to perform at it. And because she was burgeoning and she needed the exposure and no publicity is bad publicity, she signed up to be front and center on that concert. What was that concert? The inauguration of Donald Trump. So what happened after that was she got canceled because of her political ignorance or selfishness, whatever you want to call it, whether it's political ignorance, whether it was selfishness, whether it was, fuck it, this is my big shot, I'll deal with the consequences later, whatever the case is. And she got dealt with accordingly. Now, people took it too far. She ended up getting death threats and all sorts of.
Yeah, that was corny as fuck, yo. What was y'all doing?
People took it too far, but her career has never recovered.
No, it hasn't.
There are a couple differences with Macy Gray. One, because she's not new. Another is she attacked transgenders. Her thing wasn't an offense to a minority as big as black people.
Right.
It was to a minority that is transgender people.
Right.
So all of these things depend. Your offense, if it doesn't line up with your audience,
yeah, facts,
probably be okay.
That's facts. That's factual. That's factual.
With Chrisette Michele, her audience was black people.
Yeah.
Her offense was an affront to black people.
Right.
They got her the fuck up out of here.
They did.
With Macy, her audience is black people.
Kinda. White people like her too.
Yeah.
They do.
And some of us don't be on board with this whole.
No, some of us have a very conservative outlook when it comes to gender politics and gender stuff. Yeah.
Some of us don't be on board with that. So the only thing that makes me question how this album is going to do is because, like I said, she's a one-hit wonder. Like, it's not a.
Nobody was clamoring for another Macy Gray.
I'm not casting aspersions. She was literally a one-hit one. Like.
So wait a minute. Wait a second. So the one question that might be asked about the Chrisette Michele thing is, because I've actually heard people ask this question. Oh, it's a shame. Why they do that to her? All she did was accept the job and this, that, and the third. I got to say to y'all, if in any ordinary situation, I would agree with you. That particular president is not an ordinary situation.
No,
I need you to really stop trying to one-to-one everything and look at the conditions on the ground. This guy is different than everything else. And as the years went on and we started to see other shit, you started to know, oh no, this is different. And as the droves of people smash windows January 6th and smeared shit on the wall as a result of his bullshit. As all this stuff is coming out now with these January 6th hearings, we're seeing all this shit. You have to see this is different.
It wouldn't
and if
have
you don't
happened
see
when
that,
it happened if it wasn't for Trump.
Facts. And if you don't see that, I would suggest to you, it's either because you have a stick in your ass about the other side, his opposition. So because of that, you just out refuse to acknowledge this is different.
Right.
That's probably what it is.
It was a very special case. It was a very special.
This is different.
Mike said that's why I think you can stick a fork in Tesla. It's mainly people on the left who are environmentally conscious and musty, husky, alienated customers. Here's the thing. Here's the issue. I think that's a special case, and I'm not sure if it'll have the same effect. The only reason I say that is because, again, so let's compare Chrisette Michelle and Elon.
Right.
With Chrisette Michelle, you didn't have to care or know that you didn't have to really be politically aware.
No.
To understand the issue at hand.
Right.
I think with Elon, you may have to care a little bit more about politics to actually outweigh the benefit that you might see in getting a Tesla. Mm-hmm. I think. I could be off.
You might have a point there. I think one of the things that kind of leans heavy to Mike's side of this is the fairly recent stuff with Twitter.
Yeah.
So he's added extra stains onto his name.
I think before the Twitter thing, I don't think it's a question.
Me either.
Would have had an effect.
Me either.
With the Twitter thing, particularly if the deal goes through.
No, it's not. Did you see the
No. What's the latest update? Because I know that it was going through, then it was stalled.
He backing out.
He's backing out.
Hold on, I'm about to pull it up now. Pull up now.
Okay.
And there's commentary to be had on that as well, because some would say that's not that he never intended to buy it. All right, so Musk tells Twitter he wants out of deal to buy it. Twitter says it will force him to close the sale.
Here's the thing. I'm not well-versed in transactions of this magnitude.
Yeah.
I don't think they can do that.
I don't think they can either. But
I don't.
We'll see. But the thing is, it's funny about that.
Because before he backed out, he had conditions. And they weren't meeting his conditions.
Right.
So if they weren't meeting your conditions,
why are you forcing them to close?
You can't make me. Yeah. If you couldn't make me do it when I clearly had interest, what makes you think? Regardless, I'm about to say regardless if it was real or not.
Yeah.
If I'm documented having interest and you can't make me close the deal, why would you then be able to make me close the deal when I'm documented that my interest is gone?
Listen,
how does
all of this, just my perception of all of this, is this was a grift. And what I noticed, human nature, everybody's looking for somebody that supports their side of things, that's doing something. All of you freeze peach absolutists ran championing Elon Musk.
Yep.
I heard a lot of this. I hope he does buy Twitter because maybe people can say what they want to say. Now, what you're really saying is, I want to be able to call marginalized people by the slurs that I want to call them by. And the fact that y'all keep saying that makes me a bigot hurts my feelings. So y'all thought he was going to go in there and be your white knight and slay the woke dragon and allow people to get on there saying all kinds of crazy shit to people and be ass and make all kinds of threats and all this other shit and be ass. and you thought he was going to be that guy for you. That was your kid. Is this your king?
Yeah.
When I don't think he ever really had intentions on doing this shit, I think this was all about some other, some perception that he was trying to put out there that was going to benefit him in the long run. We all know this man will get out there on social media and say something about a particular Bitcoin, some crypto coin, right?
That's on brand, Paul.
You know what I mean?
That's his natural speaking voice.
Yeah, I sound like this all the time. You've known me for well over 20 years.
Oh God!
They thought he was gonna come in and make it safe to be and comfortable, even not even safe. Comfortable. Pull up a chair. Let me get you your fuzzy slippers and give you your pipe while you call all kinds of marginal people all kinds of names and be ass and be an edgelord. You thought this is your rich edgelord buddy, right? That's what y'all thought was gonna happen. Meanwhile, you broke.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you broke.
Yeah,
you're broke, and maybe one of the reasons that you're broke could be you're ignorant and maybe some other personal things, but it's also because there's certain people in finance, high finance, that are doing things that create an economy, that help shape an economy where you're not going to get that. Right. See, but go on, keep trying to high five the basketball players as they walk up the aisle and they don't see you because you're too short. And right. Fuck it. Fuck it. Keep doing that. You fucking chumps. Y'all keep look. I swear that constant search for a hero is going to have me laughing at you guys for years. This is our new hero. Okay.
There goes my hero.
Watch him as he goes. Keep doing that shit. Keep doing that shit. Keep doing it.
It's a whole thing. That's funny. Elon is turning from Tony Stark to Justin Hammer. That's amazing.
Oh, my
right,
stomach.
So the next dumbass of the week.
Facts, Joe.
Is one David Chappelle. And all of these comics
that is also true,
who
Joe.
Specifically agree with this particular ideology. So Netflix released a new speech from David Chappelle, and in that speech, actually, background for those that don't know, we talked about it on here, but maybe you missed it. His alma mater was planning on naming a new wing of their school after him, a performance arts theater, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. They were planning on naming it after him. The children that attend the school were like, "Nah, fuck that noise. We don't want that." Right. So that led to an impasse. Mm-hmm. They delayed the ceremony. Chappelle went there. They fussed it. I will give him that. Throughout this entire process, there are very few things I can give him. Right. I will give him that he went there and he took that fucking browbeating because they dug into his ass.
Let me respond to this to Vermin real quick. He said, I think the presumption that all free speech supporters only support it so they can use racial slurs is a bit off target. I'm gonna tell you this.
No, not free speech supporters. The free speech crew.
Absolutely, yo, it's a difference.
We're talking about the bad actors. We're not talking about people that want to uphold the First Amendment.
Exactly, and
different things.
Because the people that want to uphold the First Amendment for real, they will also recognize you can't yell fire,
right,
in the burning theater, in a crowded theater. The second thing is, I would say this to those that count themselves amongst that. A lot of the people that are adding themselves to your number, that are saying that they're on your side,
yeah,
a lot of them want to say fucked up shit and get away with it. And if they didn't, they wouldn't be so quick to defend those that are doing it. So if that's not you, if that's not the other people, you know what I'm saying, that's part of that, that does not smack them. I'm talking about the extremists.
Right.
And it's just like when I see people who are running around here claiming to be Pan-African, and I identify as a Pan-African, and they're saying crazy shit out of their mouths, I jump in their ass.
Yeah.
I jump dead in their ass because I don't want people thinking that the shit they're on over there is the same shit I'm on.
Facts.
Without pushback.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
So he went to this, they had a meeting, he went to it, the kids cussed him out, they ripped him a new asshole. And because for some reason in this situation, he understands that he's an adult.
Because he didn't quite in the other situation.
Right. He took it. He still had basically the same. It didn't change his mind. It didn't change anything. The school was like, "We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna go ahead and name him shit." He said, "No, I don't want you to name it after me." But those kids are instruments of oppression.
Right. That's crazy.
So, number one, shut the fuck up. No 17-year-old little white girl is oppressing you, sir. Like, what the fuck are we talking? Like, little Susie over there is not oppressing you. Get the fuck, no. Stop it. There's some, so what you're doing is purposely missing the point.
Oh, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that.
Your entire job is talking, right? So you're mad that these people are talking because they ain't do nothing else.
Right.
Ain't nobody done nothing else.
Right.
You're mad at these people, these kids, these children.
Right.
Are talking
to you
about how your speech can incite and otherwise lead to real people dealing with real oppression.
Real life problems.
No. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? You're not thinking clearly. You're clearly not thinking.
Listen, I'm just, the reality of the situation is this. A lot of these people, because they don't have to deal with the issues that come from a certain narrative being propagated and then platformed on huge platforms, as much sheeple as a lot of people are, will hear their favorite comedian, their favorite singer, their favorite actor, their favorite politician say certain shit and accept the narrative. They will accept the narrative as a thing. People want to act like thoughts don't inform behavior. That if you accept certain things as true and you're one of the less critically thinking among us who takes your cues from a person or persons that you admire, that you're not somehow going to act on a lot of these things in your behavior. If you target marginalized groups that are already catching heat, and you have a huge platform, and you're targeting them, making it easier for people to dehumanize them and shit like that, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. You can sit here and try to take no accountability for it all you want, but it's a crazy bar to say that those kids speaking against you saying what you're saying, using their speech, is somehow a part of the system of oppression. It's funny how that works. You a grown ass man with all this money.
You're rich, and you're a man.
Like,
shut the fuck up.
Stop, yo, stop.
So let me read this.
But hold on, before you go there, one other point about that. Because I feel like this, even though it's been said, people don't grasp it. On these social media platforms, There is something called a terms of service
Facts.
that everybody signs to be able to participate on these platforms.
Yeah.
There are rules in that terms of service, and you signed it.
Yep.
These are private companies.
Mm-hmm.
So if they got something in that terms of service that you violate, because you signed it, they can get rid of your shit. They can take that shit off of there. We don't have to like it. Sometimes it sucks.
Absolutely.
But
it happened to us.
Of course.
It happened to us. We got one of our episodes pulled down because they said we were spewing anti-vax rhetoric.
Right. And that's the whole thing about it. Stop trying to conflate the government shutting down free speech with some private. You know that shit don't apply. You know it don't apply.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. So for those who aren't outraged by what I reported that Chappelle said, let me read to you what he actually said. All the kids were screaming and yelling. I remember I said to the kids, well, okay, what do you guys think I did wrong? And a line formed. These kids said everything about gender and this and that and the other, but they didn't say anything about art. And this is my biggest gripe with this whole controversy with the closer, that you cannot report on an artist's work and remove artistic nuance from his words. It would be like if you were reading a newspaper and they say, man shot in the face by a 6-foot rabbit expected to survive. You'd be like, oh my God. And they never tell you it's in a Bugs Bunny cartoon. When I heard those talking points coming out of these children's faces, that really sincerely hurt me, because I know those kids didn't come up with those words. I've heard those words before. The more you say I can't say something, the more urgent it is for me to say it. And it has nothing to do with what you're saying I can't say. It has everything to do with my right, my freedom of artistic expression. That is valuable to me. That is not severed from me. It's worth protecting for me, and it's worth protecting for everyone else who endeavors in our noble, noble professions. And these kids didn't understand that they were instruments of oppression, and I didn't get mad at them. They're kids. They're freshmen. They're not ready yet. They don't know.
The conflation here too is no one's saying you can't say it. They're saying you shouldn't. This is part of their criticism. They're saying you shouldn't say that because not you can't say it. Of course you can say it, but you shouldn't say it. Just like if I'm sitting out here with my moms, it's certain shit you shouldn't say to her. You can say it, but you shouldn't. Because there's consequences. Somebody telling you you shouldn't say something does not mean you can't say it. They're using their free speech to say, oh, you shouldn't say that because. And you can choose to ignore that and just accept what happens after that. That's within your right. But you can't then bitch and complain and run off crying and whining like that. Oh my goodness, the black helicopters are coming to silence me. Like, stop it.
But even on top of that, they're kids. They didn't come up with this. They're freshmen.
That's crazy.
Know any better. Let me crazy.
Let
me read a couple things to you.
Wait a minute, they're freshmen in college. In the college,
wait.
Right? It's a college.
No.
It's a high school.
No. High school.
Okay.
But let me read a couple things to you. Greta Thunberg, 17-year-old Greta Thunberg is an inspirational person for students who want to reduce the effects of climate change. When Greta began protesting the Swedish government's limited action against climate change at her school, she received worldwide attention for her desire to help save the planet in any way she could. In 2019, she was named Person of the Year by Time magazine in recognition of her work as a climate change activist. All right, hold up. Let me read something else for you. Jalen Arnold is another young person who has changed the world by advocating for bullying prevention. As a child, Jalen was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome, obsessive compulsive disorder, and Asperger's. Because of his differences, he was often bullied by other students at his school. He decided that instead of fighting back, he could stand up for other children who were bullied because they are different. He started the Jalen's Challenge Foundation, a nonprofit that educates children across the United States about how they can prevent bullying. In 2014, Jalen was named the World of Children Award honoree for his work as an anti-bullying advocate. All right, hold on. Marley Diaz. At 11 years old, Marley Diaz was frustrated that most children's books she saw didn't represent the cultural diversity of herself or her peers. That is why she decided to launch the 1,000 Black Girl Books Twitter campaign to collect and donate books that would help Black girls feel seen. Marley was able to donate more than 9,000 books through the program at the 2017 Forbes Women's Summit. She said of her experience, "I'm working to create a space where it feels easy to include and imagine Black girls and make Black girls like me the main characters of our lives." Let me read another thing to you. Isra Hirsi, daughter of U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar, is another young person making a difference through environmental and racial activism. Inspired by the belief that every person deserves a safe and livable future, she co-created the U.S. Youth Climate Strike. The organization has chapters all over the country to help youth get involved in a fight against climate change. In addition to informing students about your local chapter, share the speech Isra gave at the TEDx Wake Forest LJ on climate advocacy, racial justice, and intersectionality. Let me read another thing. Sophie Cruz, when she was just 5 years old, Sophie Cruz gained national attention when she gave Pope Francis a letter asking him to advocate for undocumented immigrants in the United States like her parents. In the letter she shared, "I have a right to live with my parents. I have a right to be happy. Immigrants, just like my dad, feed this country. They deserve to live with dignity. They deserve to live with respect. They deserve an immigration reform." Let me see. Another one. Jazz Jennings is a young LGBTQ advocate who decided from a young age to speak out about her experiences and stand for others like her. She founded the Purple Rainbow Foundation to spread awareness for transgender children and teenagers, as well as to provide support for homeless transgender youth. Let me see. Last one. When 10-year-old Abigail Lupi visited her grandmother in a nursing home, she became aware of the silent struggle with loneliness many nursing home residents face. To support and comfort these residents, she founded the Care Girls organization. Care Girls helps nursing home patients in New Jersey feel loved and less alone by matching them with young volunteers. "I like to brighten up people's days and help them have a fun time," said Abigail in an interview with the Inspire a Kid podcast. "If I do my best, they'll have a smile on their faces by the end." So,
and by the way, none of this is a new phenomenon. You'll find that all throughout the civil rights movement. You had activists as young as 12 years old. So that's all cap, acting like it's impossible for kids to have thoughts of their own, right?
Right.
And to see something happening in society.
You know what's funny about this? I was actually thinking about this the other day. Not in conjunction with this. I was just thinking about it. The only issue with children mentally is some reasoning things here and there.
Right.
Outside of that, no.
They have a basic understanding of right and fucking wrong. Like stop the bullshit. Just classic example. This kid, 12 years old, 1963, Freeman Harabowski, was 12 years old when he was inspired to march in the Birmingham Children Crusade of 1963. While sitting in the back of church one Sunday, his ears perked up when he heard a man speak about a march for integrated schools. Right. He was excited about the possibility of competing academically with white children. While spending many days in prison after he was arrested at the march, photographs of police and dogs attacking the children drew nationwide attention. Harabowski remembers that at the prison, Dr. King told him and other children, "What you do this day will have an impact on children yet unborn," he continues. "I'll never forget that. I didn't even understand it, but I knew it was powerful, very powerful." He went on to become president of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, where he made extraordinary strides to support African-American students who pursue math and science degrees. Stop acting like these kids don't have a mind of their own.
I just thought about something. Fuck everything we just said. Fuck all the examples we just gave.
Nah,
This idea,
information for the sake of information. Nah, fuck that.
Sure. The idea of having to be an adult to achieve things is a relatively new phenomenon.
Yes.
That's not how society has worked.
Right.
Historically, people were getting married at 12, 13, 14, having kids, doing... What are you talking about, sir?
Right. Like,
what are you...
To me, that's a cop-out, yo. That's a cop-out to try to dismiss their criticism so you don't have to address it point by point.
Facts.
That's a cop-out. I'm gonna put my arm on your forehead while you swing.
Right.
So I don't even have to acknowledge the stuff that you're saying and actually come up with a logical, coherent retort for each one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a kid, so we're going to dismiss everything you say by saying you got that from somebody else.
Right. Come on now. So, Dave Chappelle continues to be my greatest example, because there were different nuances with R. Kelly and with Kanye.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle has become my greatest example of someone who I separate the person from the art with. And he can.
I just wish he would separate the art from some of the other stuff too.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
Like, because it's one thing to do a passing remark.
Absolutely.
But it got to the point where you're driving in on that thing, and now you could have got away with the. I tell jokes. Jokes. Because I'd have been like
the first time.
I'd have been like, yeah.
Or the second time.
Or the second time. But now you seem to be driving
235,000th time?
Like it ain't nothing else to talk about. Nothing happening in the world, right? To talk about. Like you driving, and that to me comes from he enjoyed almost universal praise.
Mm-hmm.
People wanted him to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Had very positive thoughts about him. When they spoke about him, and he had to see it before he made his huge return, he had to see it. When they spoke about him, they spoke about him in legendary terms, glowing remarks, all of this stuff. To get into a situation where people are now being critical of him, I think it legitimately hurt his feelings.
Yeah. Oh, no.
It legitimately hurt his feelings.
No. There's no reason to think. He's admitted such. He specifically said that when this all started, that's what it was. He's absolutely admitted that. That's exactly what it is.
And that's why he's driving into it.
Being a baby.
Yeah.
That is what this is. This is a grown man
acting
like a baby and realize that's funny. This is a grown man acting like a baby and realizing he has the power to do something about it.
Yeah. And
so he's exercising that power.
And he has a whole bunch of power, because not only in the fact that he has a bunch of money, name recognition, branding, all of that stuff, but there is I told you, there is a segment of the population that are engaged in a certain type of grievance that will support him in everything he said. They will not critically examine it and say to themselves, all right, bro, this like the 200th comment on this shit. Like, why are we still here? Like, I get you said your first joke about it's a joke. Comedians say all kinds of crazy shit, whatever. But now this seems to be a focus point for you. And now when you do that, what it makes it look like when you said previously, oh no, I'm an irreverent comedian. I do everything. That works when you say only one or two times.
Right.
But then, and they say, oh no, you're picking on us. And you say, no, I'm not. I'm an irreverent comedian. I talk about everything, blah, 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 blah. But then after like the 15th or 20th thing that you say, now you kind of like making what they say seem true, right? Yes. Like you are kind of going in on them, right? Like we back here? You talking about them again? Why are we talking about them again? I thought you're an irreverent. I just go with it because there's a lot of shit happening in the world. There's a lot of shit happening in the world. Mm-hmm. We back on this topic again. Why are we back on this topic again?
Right.
Just saying. Methinks thou dost protest too much.
Just a bit too much. Just a bit too much. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, at this point, he's effectively said that he was done with Netflix specials as far as comedy specials.
Mm-hmm. So now it's just speeches.
Yeah, this one was
He's
billed
on
as a
the speeches on
speech. Well, again, that depends on how many other speeches he does. Because I don't know if that's a plan that he's planning to do. I think he's planning on continuing with stand up. It just won't be a Netflix thing.
My question is, so Netflix was accepted it because they know anything Dave put his name on
It's gold.
is gold. People are going to watch the shit, right? So it seems to me he knows that as well. So it seems, why wouldn't that be a consistent thing? So if you're not going to do any specials on there, but if you can go and do these little speeches and still get engagement, and Netflix still gets what they need out of it, why wouldn't you continue?
Yeah.
I mean,
but on top of that, I don't know if that was a new thing or if that was, current deal. I need this amount of pieces of work from you. I don't know. He didn't. Yeah, we're wrapping up on Dave Chappelle, Scott. He didn't say any specifics as far as that was concerned. The only thing I actually heard him say was, "I'm pretty much done with comedy specials on Netflix."
Right.
So
I want to. This is a classic example of something McKenna's talking about. She said she had a couple of old ladies try to dismiss her on a cancer vaccine debate when she had a bachelor's in biochem degree, because she was at Target. She was 20, and they had family members who had cancer. Well, yeah, but when did you take a biology class? This type of shit I'm talking about. At 20 years old, with her having a bachelor's in that, I don't give a fuck how old you are. She's infinitely more qualified than you if you haven't done it. She's more qualified to talk about this shit than you if you haven't done it. So trying to dismiss them, nah, B, like, no, we not gonna do that. Because one, that's ageist. That's ageist, and you know it is. And two, it's kind of hypocritical. It's kind of hypocritical. Yeah. It would be this. It like to act as though they don't have thoughts of their own. It's the same thing they do on the other on certain political. Is it, yo? It's a political thing. Like I heard,
sweetie. I understand what your little degree says.
I know what your little degree is. However, I am old enough to be your grandmother.
Right.
Yeah, but you didn't. What that got to do with? You ain't.
Realistically, sorry to say it this way, your evidence died.
Yeah. Ooh. Ouch. Yikes.
So if you have someone saying what the newest, most up-to-date information on said thing is, your experience doesn't necessarily contradict them.
No.
So there's no reason for you to act as if it does.
Right. You just want to dismiss them out of hand because you want to use a very irrelevant thing, really, to dismiss. Like, imagine going to somebody with a bachelor's in biochem degree and you dismissing them. Oh, yeah, but you have that, but you're 20.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. What does that even mean?
My points just kept moving in. But exactly. That's my point.
That's what they always do.
Their experience isn't in contradiction with what they have no frame of reference.
And what it looks like when someone does that is they don't want to address the points because they don't have the education for it. So they're distracting with other things. That's why, like I said, for him to tell those kids, oh, this is not your thoughts of your own. Why? Because you don't want to take what they're saying seriously because you don't want to address their points because maybe you don't really actually have an answer for that. And I know that sounds counterintuitive because you're talking about a Dave Chappelle who routinely comes off as, at the very least, informed or thoughtful. Like he's put a lot of thought behind some shit. But it isn't. This is what I mean by the hero shit. This is what I mean by that hero shit. Everybody I don't give a fuck how smart they are in certain parts of certain topics or whatever like that. They have blind spots and things that they are ignorant about.
When it comes to something else.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's every single one of us. So that's that part of that hero worship shit where we think, oh no, they know. No, they don't necessarily have to know because you like them or they good in some other shit. They don't have to know they know about this,
Not at all.
And it certainly ain't because of their fucking age when it comes to academic shit. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, listen. The classes are the classes. The textbooks are the textbooks. The test scores are the test scores, motherfucker. The degree is the degree. If you ain't go through none of that shit yourself, you might want to sit down a little bit, or at the very least, approach it differently. When you're talking to somebody that's been formally educated on these topics, you know what you could do instead of being dismissive and putting your hand right here?
You can always just shut the fuck up.
You can always shut the fuck up.
It's absolutely possible.
I've heard that before too, McKenna.
McKenna says they were trying to say Big Pharma had a vaccine for all cancers, but wouldn't give it out. I acknowledge there's corruption on the business side, sure, but the research doesn't lie. No, yeah, nah,
right,
nah.
right.
That, like,
I've heard that one before too.
You gotta let.
They already got a cure
shit
for
like
all
that.
of it.
Right, you gotta let shit like that slide down your back, McKenna, because
that shit is dumb.
there are ignorant people of all stations, and you just so happen to run into one or a couple who intersect with what you aren't ignorant about.
Let me tell you something. An old fool was a young fool once.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
There's no way in the world, McKenna, that cancer is simple enough to have one all cure. Yeah, right.
Right. Facts,
Cindy. When in doubt, shut the fuck up. Man. All right. So, last topic thingy.
Right.
It's gonna take up this last little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling Stone put out a list. Mm-hmm. Another one of these lists. Tim.
Not again.
The 200 greatest hip hop albums of all time.
No, we not. See, this is why. Why? I'm not saying that Rolling Stone as a institution or magazine would not have the credibility to at least attempt it.
They've had enough time. Yeah, they got enough skin in the game to reasonably come up with a relatively respected list.
And for us to be able to expect a lot from them.
That last thing you said.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to put that one in there because I know this is going to be the opposite of that.
So the reason...
Hey, yo, Ogma's ass.
Yo! That's funny. Yo, the reason that this was even brought to my attention. All right, so let me not be an old fuddy-duddy, right? That is not my intention. I promise that is not my intention here.
Right.
That's Tomb's rule.
Mind your business.
My thing is, we are all right. Great. We're talking about great, right? It says greatness, I believe. The thing that brought this to my attention. Shut up. The reason this came to my attention is because I saw a video. All right. Nope. I'm sorry. I cannot. I just saw something. Yo.
It's something egregious.
Bruh. There's absolutely no way. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit more, but whenever I see things like this, it makes me wonder who wrote it. Mm-hmm. Right? Because I don't think big publications like this care how people feel about their credibility based off of one article. I don't think they care about that. I think they set someone to be able, because the reason I say that is if you care, you will get some type of consensus among all of your contributing staff. Mm-hmm. Instead of letting one person do the article. 200 albums is a lot of albums for one person to...
It is.
That's a lot, right?
It is.
So the reason this even came up is because I saw a video about Cardi B getting backlash.
Because?
What
this time?
Her debut album is number 16 on this list.
Okay.
I will give her all of the credit in the world. I saw what she had to say. She was wilding on some of it. Some of it she was wilding. Mm-hmm. But the ultimate point that I took away from what she said was, I understand why people would have a problem with me being number 16. And now this part I'm not backing, but she said, I think Rolling Stone did this with an agenda, put someone like me at number 16 because they know that's going to cause controversy. They know that's going to bring eyes to their article.
Okay.
I can't even, like, I know I said I didn't co-sign it. I can't be mad at that thought. I can't be mad at that thought at all.
It is a bit conspiratorial, but at the same
Cardi's
time,
not dumb.
Right.
16 might be a little high. Like,
what's their metric?
That I have no. I'm gonna see if they put it in the article. Here's my thing. It's hard for me to believe. No, not believe. It's hard for me to accept something as a certain status when it's had such. I'm being Dave Chappelle in a sense. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me to accept something having a certain status when it has not been here that long.
Right. No, I feel you that. And I don't think that's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. I'm joking.
Yeah.
But this album came out 3 years ago. For it to be number 16 on a 200 of all time list, just because of time, that seems wrong. Like, I'm not.
What you saying?
I'm not arguing against. I feel like because of who Cardi is, what she has accomplished, and all that shit, she absolutely belongs on this list.
So they're saying, yeah, because at the end of the day, this is an albums list, right? This is not greatest rapper of all time, greatest skilled, technical. No. So when you got to figure when they do albums, it's at least a couple of components to that. It's the impact as far as sales for the career,
all that shit.
And then of course,
so this album belongs on the list.
But see, the other thing I'm expecting on here too is, and maybe I'm expecting too much, is quality. Like from sequence, type of songs, so they do have a metric in it.
I don't know if it's a metric or not. It's the preamble. I'm gonna read the preamble. 200 seems like an almost luxuriantly expansive number when you're making an albums list, and in any other genre, maybe it would be. But the history of rap LPs is so rich and varied, we were forced to make some painful choices. There are so many iconic artists with deep catalogs, so many consistently evolving sounds and regional scenes. That's one reason we limited our scope to English language hip-hop. Relatedly, a list of hip-hop adjacent albums from the worlds of dancehall or reggaeton or grime would be fun and fascinating and something for us to revisit down the road. When confronted with a choice between the third record by a classic artist or an album from an artist who would make the list more interesting, we tended to go with the latter option. So that's number one. You are fucking up.
Yes,
your integrity is in question.
Yes, it is.
What you're telling me is that if Outkast has 4 albums that are amazing, you're going to put 2 of them on there, and then you're going to look for somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's one.
This shit is already tainted.
Already. The result was a list that touches on every important moment in the genre's evolution.
Say you.
And that's, well, of course they're going to attempt to do such. And that's one of the reasons why I'm dead set on Cardi's album belongs on this list. Where? I don't know. But it belongs on this list. From compilations that honor the music's paleo old school days to its artistic flourishing in the late 80s and early 90s with Public Enemy, De La Soul, Eric B. and Rakim and others, through the gangster era, the rise of the South, the ascendance of larger-than-life art superstars like Jay-Z and Kanye West and Nicki Minaj, and on into more recent moments like blog rap, emo rap, and drill. From New York to LA to Houston to Chicago and beyond, as we dug and listened, we found ourselves a little less swayed by golden age mystique than we might have been had we done this list 10 or 15 years ago. One of the incredible things about hip-hop is that it evolves and expands faster than any other genre in music history. To a fan coming up in the era of Cardi or Tyler or Polo G or Playboy Cardi, the golden age is now.
So I'm looking at something, right? I was curious about the amount sold total for Cardi. It says here she sold more than 75 million equivalent units in the United States across albums, singles, and mixtapes, making her the 6th best-selling female digital artist in the country. My question, and this is what I've had since they started altering and adjusting the way they count units sold.
Right.
I would love to know what would this number be using the original standard?
No, that's a good question.
Because if part of this is about impact in sales and stuff like that, and while I understand that things change, things always change, the industry changes, the what's the word I'm looking for? The way people consume music changes, or the way it's delivered changes, all of that, factoring all that in, I'm curious about comparing people who came from the older original standard of how they did that with people after the adjustment was made for streaming and shit like that. I'm like, somebody who's more nerdy about that shit than I'm wondering how they would see that and go, I don't know if I would compare MC Hammer's platinum status to a current artist with the change in the metric and how they do things. I don't know if that, like, I don't know. I'm not as nerdy about that sort of shit as other people, but just looking at that, it makes me wonder sometimes. If you got somebody on there,
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Argument, no, it's not solely about sales. I can say that with certainty. I'm looking at the list. There's absolutely no way that this is so. Number 48 is Jay Dilla's Donuts. So no, this is not.
No, it's not about sales. And it's not just about sales.
No, number 48. No, Dilla doesn't make number 48 if this was just about sales, because we love Dilla, but Dilla wasn't a monster commercial success. So the thing that made me recoil is that I'm gotta scroll down to confirm. Okay, all right. I'm sure. All right, I was wrong. All right, so that's cool. All right, so let me look at. Let me see. Let's look at the top 20. Number 20.
Hey yo, Adequate's here. Yeah,
that's actually funny. That's a really high quality joke. I just don't like South Park, but I'm aware of the reference, and that is hilarious. Yeah. Absolutely hilarious. The manatee episode. Yeah, I get it.
I've just never been a fan. I've never been a fan of South Park.
But you get the joke? The manatees?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
Manatees picking balls out of okay. Future. DS2. That's Dirty Sprite for you, the uninitiated. DS2. From the hedonistic chaos of free... I'm not reading this. Number 19. Lil' Kim, Hardcore, 1996. Dirty Sprite 2 came out in 2015. 19. Lil' Kim, Hardcore, 1996. 18. Mad Villain. Mad Villainy, 2004. Wow. That's interesting. Doom and Mad Lib? Okay. 17 is Yeezus. Now, that's what I scoffed at.
I'm scoffing now.
There's no way.
Can't you hear me scoffing right now?
No. Okay.
Scoff.
I hear it now. I'm not. There's nothing that you can do to convince me that this album belongs anywhere in the top 100. maybe in the top 200, not in the top 100. There's nothing you could do. Like, I'll give you a prime example. 808s and Heartbreak. When I first heard that, I was like, this is some bullshit. Went back, I actually like it. When I first heard Yeezus, I was like, yo, this is some bullshit. I went back, I was like, yo, this is still some bullshit. There's only like 2 songs on the entire. But anyway, that was released in 2013. That's number 17. Number 16, Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy. That was released in 2018. Number 15. I ain't no joke. Eric B and Rakim.
I mean, that's my goat.
1987.
I mean, that's my goat. But my timeline is longer than a lot of
sure.
people. That's my goat right there. That's my goat.
No,
the way he changed.
No. I will call out cynicism every time I see it in these comments. No, but he said that's what I mean. Like, Sales got these albums on their radar. Then they threw in Mad Villainy and Donuts to make it seem like they tried. No.
It's a lot of shit on here.
There's no way. Right. There's no way you can convince me that that's what happened. It's impossible because you wouldn't put him that high.
Yo, not only that, but they went so far as to go back to KMD.
Right.
From 1991, Mr. Hood.
I believe that they did their research.
I think they factored the sales and impact and all of that. But for them to go back to KMD, Mr. Hood in 1991, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Number 14, Ghostface Killer, Supreme Clientele, came out 2000.
Wait a minute, where did they put that 14?
14.
Okay. All right.
Number 13, Dr. Dre, 2001. 1999 for Game, because he has this fucking line that says, I came out the coma 2001 about the same time Dre dropped 2001. Yeah, but he dropped it in 1989.
Yo, you know what though? I'm in Ogma's defense, I'm expecting a hip hop dude to be cynical about all this shit. I'm gonna tell you why.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's been too much bullshit they done tried to pull
100%.
Where they tried to dismiss certain aspects of hip hop.
I
get it.
I get why we do it, but I'm looking at this list.
Yeah,
and it don't look like that.
Yo, KMD, if you got KMD on here,
bruh,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Number 12, Clips, Lil Wayne, came out 2002. I think that's interesting. I've long had Pusha T in my top 5, even back when like DJ used to like ask me like, "Yo, why is like he wasn't like putting down Pusha T, but he was like, yo, the vast majority of what he talks about is drug dealing. Like, why would he be in your top 5?" At the time, I couldn't explain it at all. Right. It's not. I'm not an idiot. I understand the references. Like, it was never my thing, but yeah, I understand the reference. But anyway,
for me, for Pusha I never really rated him. He was cool. It's other people that I was looking at more so over him. Like he does the drug talk, but that doesn't turn me against him. I just think it's other people rapping wise that do the drug talk better. That's just so I never really rated him. I just say he's cool.
Word.
He's cool.
Number 11, Drake, Take Care, 2011. Number 10, and my feelings on this have changed. There was a point in time where I would hear nothing to the contrary. I second guess that now. But number 10, Lauryn Hill, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, 1998. No. It is not a top 10 all-time hip-hop album because it's not a solely hip-hop album.
Right.
You can't put it at number 10 because...
Question.
What up?
So a lot of the stuff they putting in the hip-hop category now, a lot of the artists, when you listen to their tracks and delivery over certain types of beats, blah, 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 some of them, to me, are doing a lot less rapping on their shit than she did on this.
I don't know if I would say a lot less.
Yo, when you got, let's say you have,
there was not a lot of rap.
take a 15 track current whatever, right? In certain styles that they're putting in with this, these niggas are harmonizing on every goddamn track.
Absolutely. But let's look at something. So you being on the hip hop end of it, you may feel different than a person who's on the R&B end of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Because a person on the R&B end of it might be like, "Fuck no, that's not singing."
Right.
So
that's true.
I get what you're saying. I happen to be in both worlds. I think it's not clear. I think it's a noticeable difference. And the reason I say that is, let me look at this track list. So Lauryn Hill had 16 tracks.
Right.
Track number 16, there's not a single bar. Track number 15, there's not a single bar. Track number 14, there's not a single bar. Track number 12, there's not a single bar. There's a bar there. Track number 9, there's not a single bar. Track number 8, there's not a single bar. Track number 4, that is not a single bar. Track number 3, that is rap. Track number 2, that is rap. All right, so 7 of 16 tracks, there was not a single bar. I'm not talking about it's not a rap song. I'm talking about there's not one bar, not one.
Right.
Out of the remaining tracks, several of these have one verse that is rap. I get what you're saying with the harmonizing and stuff, but that is at least their attempt to rap. She didn't have she doesn't have that excuse, right? She doesn't have an excuse of she can attempt to rap. No, we know she.
But what if we factor in? This is gonna be so ass.
What? Yo?
What if we factor in quality of raps?
No. We cannot factor in quality of raps because we cannot factor in quality of raps because if a nigga can't rap, that don't mean number one that he can't have a number one hit.
No, don't mean that.
And it don't mean number two that he can't put some bars together. There even still might be some good bars in there.
He can't rap. That doesn't mean he's not rapping. I know what you're saying.
Right.
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying.
Nah, dude, we can't do that, yo.
If we talk about impact, them shits they saying.
I hear you.
And we still quoting Lauren off this album. We quoting her.
Yes, that's true.
Off this album.
True.
You understand?
But nigga, it is 16 tracks and 8 because one of them isn't a song.
So it's half.
Not even rap. Like 8 of these tracks, she does not rap a single bar. No, it cannot be the 10th greatest rap album. It's absolutely not. It's not.
Let me ask you this though. So if we're taking it out of that, what genre is it?
I think it's the same thing as the Outkast double album. I think, well, actually not exactly the same thing because I consider that more rap because there is more rap on that double album. Right. But I think it's a similar thing to the Outkast double album where I would still allow it on this list of 200, but not 10.
Oh, got you.
Fuck no, not 10.
Got you.
Not 10. You don't even have 10. You don't even have 10 rap songs on this 16 track.
What about at the time when she dropped this, the little bit of raps that she did have on here? I hate to say little bit, but it's almost close to half. The raps that she had on here was still outclassing a lot of the current people.
Without question. If this list would have came out then,
she was.
Then I would have allowed 10.
She was fucking a lot of them dudes up.
Oh. Like I said,
that was doing whole rap albums.
My thoughts have changed on this over time. Back then, you couldn't tell me shit. No, this is a rap album. Like, Even while I'm singing the songs, like even while I'm singing the singy songs.
When you were singing the singy songs, was you thinking in your mind that you were rapping?
No, but I was thinking this is a rap. No, but this is a rap album.
Oh, okay.
It's still in my head. This is a rap album. 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 But no, not 23, 24 years later, and so much other rap has come out.
Right.
Also by other women. You can't give me Rhapsody Eve.
I know what you're saying.
And say that this album is a greater hip hop album than that.
Right. I know what you're saying.
Nah. And that's another thing. I wonder if Rhapsody is on this list at all.
No, I guarantee. I don't think she could be, but I don't think so.
Number 9 is Low End Theory.
Nigga.
1991.
For me, that's number 1. Fuck niggas.
I know.
Look,
that's your most complete. I get it.
Actually, not this one. This one's cool.
Right. No. Right.
This is the Low End Theory. I love the Low End Theory. But you know what my number 1 is? Midnight Marauders.
Yeah, Midnight Marauders.
That's my
number
shit.
8 is Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers.
That's respectable.
1993. Right. I ain't mad at that. Number 7.
That's respectable too.
So Addictive. Missy Elliott, 2001. I ain't mad at it.
That's respectable.
Number 6. No, I ain't mad at this one. Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It is the most complete rap album ever made.
I'm mad.
With your mama.
I'm mad.
I'm
about to call my mama now. I'm about to call my mama right now.
Argue with your mama. I'm not having it. Listen,
call her right now.
From the different shit that from a production standpoint, from a rap standpoint, from a feature standpoint, from so many of these different features having their best verses in their career to this point on this, I'm not accepting any arguments.
He ain't write some of his. Look,
it's not. Listen, here's the funny thing about that. I saw a post the other day. It was about. Matter of fact, Aaron and Chris was arguing about this shit. Aaron posted it. It was a video that someone edited of Drake doing his little homages to hip hop, like all good rappers do. But they cut it up in a way to make it seem like this is just all he does.
Yeah.
So like there will be one where he did one to Mace's verse on Been Around the World. Trick what? Mace who? Dang, when Mace do you got a lot of girls that would love to replace you, talk to your fit. They cut that one up 3 times to make it 3 entries. No, this is 1 entry. This is 1 entry. And you know how I feel about Drake. I hate you for making me defend Drake.
Yo.
But no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, that's
but what I said at the end of their conversation, I was like, yo, this means nothing. So many rappers pay homage to other rappers in their raps all the time. Yeah, like any real hip hop head feels the way they feel about Drake because of the ghostwriting thing. If you didn't know about the ghostwriting thing and you saw this, then maybe you feel away. But outside of that, no, this is small change. Everybody.
Change.
Snoop did an entire cover to a fucking Slick Rick song on his album. Yeah, he did an entire cover. Like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, that's not the thing. That's not even
it's the ghostwriting.
Yeah, it's the ghostwriting.
It's the ghostwriting. Cut it out.
For all us hip hop snobs, it's the ghostwriting.
It's the ghostwriting.
I can't give you any of that props in that arena because you got a ghostwriter. So
no, there's a very specific arena that we are talking about that people name different things. People have different names for it.
Absolutely.
But there's a very specific thing that we're talking about that you aren't qualified to be.
Right.
It's that simple. Other things in this community, you absolutely are qualified to be, and you absolutely are those things. But this specific thing that we're talking, B.
No,
that's not what's going on. No, argument. It's not that he lied. It's that he did it. I don't give a fuck if he told the truth or not.
Yeah,
if he would have came out
the
willingly,
fact that you did it, still, that's the point. If
he would have came out willingly and said, "I got ghostwriters," I still would have felt the same way.
I just wouldn't have said he lied. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still would have been like, "Yo, why the fuck is somebody writing your shit, a rapper?" especially all of the shit I had to hear when he first came out from my son about how, oh yeah, here's the night. I don't want to hear all that.
Right.
I don't want to hear all that.
Ogma, when did that come out? Number 5 of all time, which I absolutely don't agree with because I don't like the album. Kendrick Lamar to Pimp a Butterfly, 2015.
Yeah, but you know what? I disagree with it too. But at the same time, if you go off of some of the other metrics they might be using.
No, here's the thing. I don't even gotta go off of their metrics. I know how people talk about the album.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad that it's there. I just don't agree with the I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I'm saying.
No, Ogma, the difference is
it's a difference. It's a big difference.
Dre is
as far as Dre is concerned, it's a big difference.
That's an absolute difference.
Dre's
I don't know
a
nothing
producer.
about I don't know what you're talking about with the Jay-Z thing. You're gonna have to elaborate on that.
Yeah, who wrote for Jay-Z?
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
I don't know.
But Dr. Dre, no, there's an absolute Dr. Dre, Kanye, Diddy, like there's clearly they're producers that rap.
Yeah, in hip hop, we don't expect our producers to be bar heavy in the thing. We don't really expect that. That's for if you say that you are a rapper, MC, you gets it in, you got the bars and all of that. Part of the competition with rappers is your thoughts on paper to this beat. How does it match to my thoughts on this paper and then on this beat? If you did not pin those thoughts on there and you calling yourself one of them, one of them.
That's the issue.
It's
not that I can't enjoy you if you have a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
That's not the issue.
But
it's that you can't fit into a very specific situation. Yeah, Jigga wrote for Dre. I don't know about nobody writing for Jay. Nah. Dre is a producer first. Kanye is a producer first. Diddy is a producer first.
And that's why we don't
Diddy got number.
This is why we don't penalize the producers for having people write. We expect somebody to be writing.
I'll tell you, but here's the thing. Again, specifically, I'm talking about you can't be a specific thing.
Yes.
If you do this.
Yes.
I'm not talking about my enjoyment. Talib Kweli said in an interview, he was talking about ghostwriting because they were asking him about would he ever have a ghostwriter and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. He said the difference with Kanye and Drake is that if you're not being cynical, we know they can rap. Mm-hmm. They don't write all of their raps, but we know they can write. They have written for other people. So we know that they can write. Right. So again, there are specific categories that they can't be placed in.
Facts.
But as far as enjoyment,
if you didn't write your shit, I'm not putting you in this. But that doesn't mean that I did not enjoy the album.
Absolutely.
I did not enjoy this song is a dope ass song and it's a top whatever song. But I can't put you in that category if you ain't writing it. Sorry, because now I'm at the point where I don't know what you wrote on your own shit. It should never. I don't know what you wrote. So I'm not, and I'm not going to sit here and labor to figure out which one of your shits you actually wrote. Now that I know that somebody else wrote that shit for you, anything for you, I can't put you in that. I don't know.
I had plausible deniability before.
I had plausible deniability before. Yeah, you ruined that.
You ruined
it. So I can't put you in that category of one of the greatest MCs of all time. I can't do it. I can't do it. And just as somebody that does this, I'm doing this for 40 years now, I got to tell you, it's a lot of labor that goes into putting these bars together, making them shits fit and fit to the right beat and have it mean something and all some shit like that. There's a fraternity of writers, that understand what it take to pin that shit. And if you telling me somebody wrote your shit, you're not in that fraternity for me. You just not in it.
All right, hold up. So, Ogma, you just contradicted yourself. Consequence saying that he wrote for Jay-Z isn't Jay-Z admitting that he has a ghostwriter.
Yeah, we still don't know that. We don't know that.
Yeah, I don't. Nah. Was there a reference track?
Yeah, do we have a reference track can we go to? You know what
I'm
I'm saying?
not going off somebody's hearsay.
Yeah, especially the way rappers be talking shit and beefing with each other over. Like nah.
Like if someone that spit the bars admitted it, or if there's a reference track, that's what I'm talking about.
And this my thing, right? I ain't even saying that it's impossible because
No,
I know how janky the industry is about a lot of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is if I'm not like if I don't hear a reference or no evidence, it's just somebody saying that shit. Nah. Joe, the difference between
there's a huge difference.
There's a huge difference between ghostwriting and rock and metal than in hip hop.
Yeah,
because of the origins of hip hop.
Right.
It's because of the origins of hip hop.
Yeah.
It's because
in
of
those
the value
genres. The writer is not necessarily lauded.
Yeah.
The writer is lauded because of the deep dive in those genres.
Right.
In hip hop, the whole freestyling thing was a thing.
Yep.
Like that was a very prominent thing.
Yep.
Coming up with your own material.
Yep.
That was your value because we didn't have these guitars. We didn't have these drums. We didn't have instruments to play. The only instrument we had was our voice and these synthesizers and samplers and all this other stuff. So, Augment, you're gonna have to show me that, buddy. I've never heard of this at all. So show me where Jay-Z admits that somebody ghost wrote for him, and I'll take him out the category.
Yep, same. I'll take him right the fuck out.
Evidence.
I'll take him right. Right. I'll take him right the fuck out.
I've never seen every evidence. No, Joe, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
That's not what we mean when we say that. The point. Ignore that part. The point that we're making is because of what hip hop was at its essence, is the writing of what you're performing is their contribution to it.
Yeah.
So that's what was lauded.
Because here's the thing, most of these rappers aren't making the beats.
Right.
This is literally your contribution to this song.
So you're not making the beat. Flow at the time was not as important as it has become.
Exactly.
All these other things. None of that other stuff mattered. It was the words. The words. With all these other genres, can you sing? Can you play an instrument?
Right.
Those things mattered.
And what I think what's happening is people are taking a metric that was made for other genres
and
trying to apply it over to hip hop. Hip hop is different.
It's different.
It's different. The culture is different. The sensibility. Yeah. Once it got, the problem is it got into the pop realm, right? So once it got in the pop realm, they applied regular industry standard shit over their shit. But they know that at the core where it comes from, the streets, the people from those areas with that sensibility, they're going to like what you did, but they're not going to respect you as this great MC if you're not writing your own stuff.
No, Augment, God damn it. Augment, we're not, that wasn't towards you.
No,
we were responding to Joe.
Right. They're on different, Augment's watching on Facebook, Joe was watching on YouTube, so he can't see, they can't see each other's comments. Right. So, we're not talking to you, Augment.
Funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, so number 4, Public Enemy, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. 1988. Number 3.
That's one of the greatest hip hop. Y'all don't.
They got it as number 4.
Yo, listen. If you wasn't outside in '88,
I was inside because I was really young. I was really, really young. I promise you, I was inside.
Yo, this shit has such a cultural impact. Crazy.
Number 3 is The Blueprint, 2001, Jay-Z.
I don't know how I feel about that, but all right.
I get it. I get that.
I liked The Blueprint, but I don't know how I feel about it being number 3.
Mike, that would be easier if we weren't using StreamYard. One day I'm going to get to a situation where probably we just do the OBS or the
It'll get there
OBS.
one day.
But right now, it's a little bit harder to do some of these things that we used to be able to do for a very limited time when we were using OBS.
Facts.
There were other things that we can do, but it is what it is. Number 2, Stankonia, 2000, Outkast. I'm intrigued that it's
sound
number
like me.
2.
It sound like me.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it, but I don't know.
But I'm
it could have been a couple of other ones for me.
Yeah.
Too.
Because again, this is a large task. Nobody is ever going to put out a 200 list.
And that's why that's another reason why I don't take
with.
them super seriously.
Yeah,
because
this there are a couple things that may be egregious, but the vast majority of it is just going to be like preference. So
to me, as long as certain albums are even in the, that's why, like I said,
yeah, just be in the conversation.
Be in the conversation.
Be in the conversation.
Then,
Like I think this honestly does kind of feel like maybe more than one person did this list. Now that I think about it, because for the Miseducation to be number 10, that sounds like you're either suffering from nostalgia or you're listening to what somebody else older than you told you.
Facts.
Facts. For something like Stankonia to be number 2, kind of seems like you have your own opinions on this thing.
Yeah.
And number 1, Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die.
I don't know how I feel about that either.
I don't agree.
I don't think
I don't agree. I don't agree. The top 20, no, Ugma. X's is Dark and Hell and Hot was like number. I saw it. 22.
See, I think that should have been higher, but that's just
I
me.
do too, but I'm not mad at you.
I'm not mad he's in the conversation.
Yeah,
so
you're talking about a top 20. If you're talking about a top 20, legitimately, there are 25 to 30 something. No, Ugma, stop it. There are legit. If you're talking about a top 20, there are legitimately 25 to 30 things that could easily be in that top 20.
Yeah,
that's just how list works, because none of this is rote. All of this at some point comes down to subjectivity.
It's all subjective.
Right.
It's all subjective.
If you're looking for somebody to be in the top 20 and they're 22 and you're willing to throw their list away, you're being disingenuous. Honestly. Like, you want some bullshit right now. I ain't even gonna hold you. You want some bullshit. Like, listen, come on now.
I didn't even see Midnight Marauders on here, so I'm throwing the whole list away. Look,
shut up.
Look, no, but that's the reason you can't really take these lists. You can't take them as concrete, written in stone thing, because it's all really subjective. Even if they had a group of people in that room deliberating over these albums, it's still all subjective, because that group of it's just subjective, and it's really just it's a conversation piece.
Yeah,
it's something to get people to talk. That's all it really is.
Shut up, Ugma.
Look, man. Look. All I know is
Purple Tape is number 37.
I think the other reason why we can't really like go into a lot of this shit a certain type of way is because there's generational differences. There's how music made people feel at a certain time in their life when that music was super relevant to either what was happening in society at the time. They was using slang that everybody was using at the time. It's a lot of things in that.
Prime example, 2001 is rated higher than The Chronic.
Right.
For some people, that's blasphemy.
It is. To me, it is too.
Right.
Only because of impact, though.
Right.
I don't think 2021 had the impact that The Chronic did. Even if I like some of the songs on there better. Culturally, right, I don't think it had.
Let's just say this. Here's the thing. I wasn't around. I mean, I was around, but I wasn't.
Right.
Right. If I had to just had the facts on the ground, if I'm going Snoop and Jay-Z versus Eminem, Jay-Z, Snoop, DOC, I might go with 2001. If I'm just looking at,
no, I feel you, but I'm talking about listening on the ground
and right.
I'm talking about that,
and that is to your point.
That's the intangible. That's the intangible that is hard to account for because all of us wasn't in the same place at the same time even if we were in the same, like even if we was alive at the same time, mentally, we were not in, the same place at the same time. But what that first Chronic album, yo, that shit, the impact of it, like how we saw Snoop after that, how we like all of that came from, and it does benefit from being first. So that has a lot to do with it too. But still, like when did Snoop's his solo come out?
Doggy Style 93.
Mm-hmm. And when did Chronic come out?
92.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Snoop's performance on there catapulted him to the point. It definitely, like, yo, Snoop's solo, I don't think it would have done what it did if not for that, the primer of Chronic. And that's why I said the cultural impact of it was just, it was big. It was big, especially if you lived on the East Coast, right? We already got a glimpse into West Coast culture because of NWA and all that shit, right? Mm-hmm. This gave us just another layer of it. The way that the songs on that album made you feel like you was out there with them in the drought time. You know what I'm saying? Like they like NWA made the West Coast seem dangerous to us that didn't know before, right?
Sure.
Chronic made it seem cool. Like cool. You know what I'm saying? Cool, you know.
It's interesting. I'm looking for a specific album because you said something, and I'm just doing a quick cursory search of Midnight Marauders is on here.
Okay. Excuse me, sir. Point of order. What number
55.
is it at?
55. It's still in the top 100.
All right. I mean, I think that's camp. But
I know it's number one to you. I know it's number one to you. But here's the wait. All right, so I would argue that the consensus, not that they're right.
What you saying?
Because these two albums came out the same year. Doggy Style is going to be higher than Midnight Marauders.
Well, yeah.
So, like, there are so many different, like, legitimately, if we didn't have the audience that we have and we had more time, you know how many different things we can take from this list?
I know. There's a bunch of...
Bruh!
Because, again, I'm always... One of my pet peeves about just the industry in general is how corporate it is. Right. And because the people will say, well, okay, but it needs to be such and such. I would argue that the fact that it's so corporate does affect perceptions on these albums. Yeah. It because of the way the corporate society is, that community, that culture is, it has an effect on how we perceive some of these albums, particularly with people who are not super invested in the culture that a specific genre comes from. That's why I said, like, my point that I was saying to Joe about why the ghostwriting thing counts. People that are not particularly invested in hip-hop culture, then they don't value the writing part of it as much. They don't even really grasp it at first about why that's such a big, because the type of music that their lean-in music, their comfort music, their lean-in music does not use that as a value. Like, it's cool. It's not a staple. But in hip hop, the writing is it coming from you, coming from here, adds the value to how we respect you as an MC. Like we look like, yo, this MC is nice. Not only is he good at performing his shit, he writes. His mind is crazy. And we value that. We put that in. It's almost like a superpower. You know what I'm saying? It's like a superpower. Like, if you are, to me, a rapper that doesn't write his own shit, he might produce the beat, but he don't write his own shit. I'm going to give him the superpower of being a producer. Yeah. He's not a superpower. He doesn't have the superpower of being an MC. He doesn't have that power. Like,
he can put together songs well.
Like, a classic example. Cyclops organically has the power to shoot optic blasts of energy
from a different dimension
through his eyes.
Right.
Somebody grabbing some glasses that are technologically outfitted to be able to shoot a beam from their eyes, that's cool, but it ain't the same. It's not the same. It's not.
What you gonna do if I take your glasses?
If I take your
glasses,
glasses,
you're gonna try to find some other ones, but they might not be the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If Cyclops loses his glasses, you're fucked.
You're fucked. You are fucked. Another classic example: Wolverine has a healing factor. Organically, his shit just gonna start healing. So then you got another guy out here that takes a pill.
Right.
This pill has the power to heal him up. Like, exactly. So in a fight, homeboy run out of pills.
Hey.
He's toast.
It's over.
Where Wolvie is like, I heal. It's different. It's different. It's
absolutely different.
There's something, and especially one writer to another writer. We know what goes into putting this shit together.
Bruh,
so the respect I'm going to have for somebody spitting some crazy shit that came from here, all from here, I'm going to have a different level of respect for him. Like, I'm going to give a classic example. When me and Ogma did the Breaking Bad song, and I heard he dropped, I gave him my version with the two verses on there. Wait for him to give me his verse. Then he gave me his verse, and I heard what he did on that shit. I said, this is what I'm talking about. Right. There's a respect, because I know what it went into. If he'd came and told me, oh yeah, my homeboy Bobby, he wrote that, and I just spit it.
Right. It would have been a different feel. It would have been a different feel. It would have been a different feel. Yeah, like another example, like with the Liberty song. When I said, yo, I wrote this little bit, look, and he said, I'll be right back. This is what I wrote. I'm like, oh, bet.
Right. Facts.
This is going to work. Like,
and with your ass. He said, you didn't know. Yo, your ass. You are ass.
Oh, God.
You are ass.
Facts.
You are ass.
All right. So I think what we'll do is they have these sectioned off.
Okay.
We'll revisit a couple of them in the coming weeks.
Okay. That works.
Yeah,
that works. We can do that.
We definitely out of time now.
Yeah, we out of time. We want to thank everybody once again for showing up on another Saturday for the Saturday morning cartoons. You guys are awesome. Appreciate all the people that engaged with their comments and their attention and their time.
Absolutely.
You know, I know some of y'all go to work or at work or whatever, trying to watch some of this stuff, and that shows dedication to what we're doing, and we really appreciate you guys greatly for that. Do not forget, you can, if you have not gotten the PDF digital format of Extra P and Entropy issue 0, it is now available in our store on Shopify, and it's also available at Global Comics website. That's comics with an X. The comics part has an X at the end. So go check that out. Once we get certain things fulfilled for the Kickstarter, people that back the Kickstarter, a lot of those physical copies of the different versions will be in the store too. So you'll have the regular version, and then you'll have the extended version that we're currently working on now, and the extended version with the metal cover that will whatever we have left from those, that'll wind up in the store as well. Also, do not forget to check out my man Jaded Nerd's channel. He's doing his thing. Shout out to him. Check out my man Cyrus's Metas and Mutants. He's doing his thing. Are we getting? Oh, I don't know if we're getting another deep dive. We're not getting deep dive Monday, but if you haven't gone, go check the one from last week that he dropped last week out. Go check that out. Deeper dive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
I'm not again. Weekly is not a thing. Get that shit out your minds.
I feel you. But yeah, right. So for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone's the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are Out.
Peace.